Move as a trained and loyal army, willing to sacrifice. We must move as a trained and loyal army, willing to We must move as a trained and loyal army, willing to sacrifice for the good of a common discipline. Because we
sacrifice. Y'all hear what that man said? Army ready to sacrifice. Now, what we're going to learn about today is a little bit about Baal, Moloch, how everybody in this world been sacrificing in ways that they don't even understand. But today we go make sure that when we leave from today, we go sacrifice for the greater good of the Father, of God, the Most High, of Jesus Christ. Then when we go to sacrifice, we're not sacrificing to Baal, Moloch, Menelek. We sacrifice to Ayin. Shout out to Kevro, Mr. All Ego. He won't never let it go. So his head and his whole class, you know, they sound and start to look real goofy right now, even though they might be teaching a little truth and speaking a little truth. It's to say in between all that, it's just too much madness going on. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta let the ego go and just, you know, just have the trust of God. So at the beginning of the day, what we go listen to in just a few is listen to the family talking about how they took down the trust. Do y'all think the trust was for them or was it for the people of God? We're gonna listen to that in just a second. But what did he say? What did he say?
Without such, for the good of a and loyal, but if we are to go forward, we must move as a trained and loyal army. If we are to go forward, we must move as a trained and loyal army, willing to sacrifice for the good of a common discipline. Because without such,
Can't go out like that, y'all. Can't let these demons run us up about the promised land, about the kingdom, y'all. No matter how much the devil try to tear you down, you got Christ in your life, you got the Father above. Hey, you already know you can move mountains. What even some more? For that fountain, not a you, but a life. Let's get it.
Even when it's turned down, the truck still humming.
Yeah.
22's got your gal getting wet. Spit a little game, now I'm at the crib getting it. Banging murder music, and you know what nigga Mob Deep. Ain't a quiet storm, no. I'ma let the trunk beat. Got a sweet rolled up, about to put it in the air. Police on the prowl, but a nigga don't really care. On another echelon, niggas need to get to. About to smoke a pound, but the nigga gon' flip too. Clip loaded to the top. I don't let them bullets breathe. Plus you never know what that's a bullet that a nigga need. I done seen niggas bleed all because they came up, but I'm too fly to be grounded by you lame ducks, lame fucks. Better take heed. I nigga move, right? Just let that bass beat while I'm on fucking cruise. Let it bump. Let it bump, my nigga, just let it bump. Now let the bass beat. Okay, let it bump. Let it bump, my nigga, just now let it bump. Motherfucking bass beat. Let it bump. Let it bump, my nigga, just let it bump. Now let the bass beat. Let it bump. Just let it bump, my nigga, just let it bump. Yeah, beating down your block, bitch. Yeah, I've been a young star. Strappers on my lap, so don't ever think the guns fall. Windows roll down, cause I gotta let the haters see me and all my splendor. That's why they hated G. Amazingly, all this shit around me just ain't phasing me. Yeah, I got a little bread, but that shit ain't not by George. Me. If you coming up, then I know you can't relate to me. Turn this shit up while you on the bar skating, G. Boppers on the mission when they see me out here tipping. Hoping and they wishing just to get in a position to come sit down on my right side. But that isn't likewise. Baby girl, I swear you never met a nigga like I. Right eye, make this full of niggas in them Lex, in the Buicks, in them Chevys with the bang in the back. Now I'ma sit back while I puff another sweet and give it back to Rogers while he let the bass beat.
From the B time to the A time to the D time to the H time, man. Hey, we went from Texas
let it
But my
bump.
family coming from Louisiana
Let it
too.
bump, my
Let's get
nigga,
it.
just
St.
let
Thomas
it
in the
bump.
building, man. You know it.
Let
For
it
sure, for
bump.
sure.
Let it bump, my
My
nigga,
nigga,
just
just
let
let
it
it bump, let
bump.
it bump, yo.
Let it bump.
Just let it bump.
Just let it bump, my nigga, just let it bump.
We riding on all snakes, all demons, all bugs, all roaches, all flies. You know why? Because my father said we're going to clean up all filthiness, all unrighteousness, all vileness, the vulgarity, the acts of kindness, just to repay your brother with words of more than violence, because it cut to the spirit. It's more than just a backstab. It's like you tell your brother that you say you whether you're female man doing it, that you tell your brother that you're rocking with them, or you understanding what they're saying, or you trying to lead them somewhere, but at the same time that you're doing that, you right in front of them. You ain't even go behind their back. You right in front of them, thrusting it right deep into their spirit, letting them know if they can see, oh yeah, this is envy in its finest form. This is jealousy. What that boy Booster say? That's that jealousy that folk be talking about, man. And so we're gonna talk about Menelec. We're gonna talk about Martin Luther King. Cause I'm gonna bring up some Moloch, and I want to bring up 1933 because the time go back further than that. The time frame is only 600 to 800 years, nothing more. And what's that say? Nothing more than 60 to 800. Well, let me not say that. We might be really close to 7,000 year mark. So we can be on year 6, 8, 89, 6, 8, 99. I'm not sure about, but I know it's nothing more than 600 to 800 years to 7,000 years, and that's going to be the consummation of the time. We're almost on judgment and condemnation with everything that's going on in the world. I didn't even know about the floods and stuff like that. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. So stuff that I was hearing about earlier, man, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, that's why it's good to be privy to information here and there. You don't got to get lost in the information, but just to understand a little bit about what's going on in the world so you don't get stuck and lost is what you're supposed to be doing as a leader of your family. Women, if y'all are a single household, y'all got single households, and y'all are the guardians over y'all children, ladies, well, y'all need to be stepping it up just like the men, because right now, this is the time where you must understand that you must defend your own home. And what God is trying to do, he's trying to let the people know what the information is, how you must receive and go to even retrieve the information. And then once you do got the information, how to be able to relay it to the others and to be able to utilize the information. Take it, expound on it. So right now, we're going to definitely touch in on a little history. We're going to touch in definitely on a little law. We're going to touch in on a little of the false belief systems. We're going to touch in definitely on my father and my Lord. We're going to teach a little bit about multiple subjects, whether it's the hermeneutics, the alchemy. It's going to be a little bit about name and genealogy, phenotype, haplogroups. It's going to be a couple of things that we go run around in this circle of life, but we make sure we're not going counterclockwise, that we're moving forward, that we can look backwards to make sure that we're moving in the present to be going into the future. And so that's what time it is right now. So we're going to get back to listening to my guy, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. And I brought this up at the beginning of my last show to where the very beginning of this show. So at the very beginning, well, let me say this series, or I'm gonna say that what's the word I'm looking for? This playlist of videos that I'm bringing to the forefront. I know that this will be the third or fourth of this one. I'm not even sure what I'm calling it. I just got but look, one thing I know, y'all. I copy and paste them titles. If I want to change it, I change it. But if not, we keep it all moving. But for the most part, we fit to start off on something I showed on another video already. But again, it's just when you get more privy to new information, when you're getting privy to new information, when you have more things to talk about and more things to be able to bring to the forefront for people to say, okay, if I go back 3 shows ago, I hear you talked about it then, but a great teacher is going to be a great student too. So I never lose my studentship, y'all. I know that I'm still going to always be a child of the Most High, and therefore I'm going to want to cling to what my Father is trying to show me at all times. It might be something that I might have known 30 years ago, still know deep down, but I had to be refreshed on. So maybe somebody had to teach me again and show me how this is going. K-Mo, talk. Hey, look, K-Mo, I'm finna show you what separates me from Kev. Difference is right here. Let me show you, big brother. So ego, if you just bear with me for 10 minutes, I'm gonna teach you right now, 10 minutes. Egotism. Mr. Kev, because his ego, he not really being able to show. So today, I was gonna bring it up tomorrow, But I'm gonna show you tomorrow. So definitely come by tomorrow, bro, and just watch the display of information within the first 10 minutes of information I'm gonna bring tomorrow, bro. And you go see today and tomorrow. I'm showing that because Carol got too much ego that he himself don't know and understand himself. So when it comes down to names and how he tried to clown the St. Thomas name, that I'm a MACTHOMAS, that I am a true Hebrew, a true Jew, a true Israelite, and that Mr. George, who, if he believed in the George Gillespie name, and Mr. George Gillespie, who wrote the Aaron's Rod, when you go to read Aaron's Rod, it's written in English and it's written in Latin, very plain to where you know if Mr. George Gillespie himself wrote in Latin, and then Mr. Gillespie yesterday, when we actually had a conversation, he didn't even allow me to expound on things at all. So he cut me out before even allowing me to speak more than 3 to 5 seconds. So you see how I'm able to talk right now. And if I would have said, well, okay, Mr. Gillespie, if I'm trying to tie the Hebrew and I'm saying, okay, if we can tie in from English to Latin, because we didn't even go there. I didn't even pull that out on him. But if he would have denied the Latin, he would have been denying his own forefather. He would have had to throw away the Aaron's Rod. Because when you read the Aaron's Rod and you see how it's coming with the Bible, it's coming with the Latin, it's coming with the English. But you know how they got that from the Greek and the Aramaic. Then they got that from the Hebrew. But that all came from God's phonetic language. Because God took his language. We was already speaking Hebrew before it was written on the tablet. We all spoke it, a single language. I just thought about that today because before the Tower of Babylon, what did we do? We all spoke one single language. Then God divided the languages. So why do you think that when you come from if Hebrew is the original, right? If Hebrew is the original, right? And then you go and you take and you make the different dialects, because we have split off from the Tower of Babylon. So we still take it from the Hebrew, but now it's Phoenician, and it's Akkadian, and it's Assyrian, and it's this one, and it's that one. So y'all would understand how languages have changed, but the phonetic thing about a language is the most beautiful thing about our Father, because his sound mind is what created the word. He created Jesus Christ, and then when he thought thoughts into Jesus Christ's mind, and either Jesus Christ spoke the words into existence and then creation started happening, or he just thought it in his mind and creation started happening. And so that's why we are creators, but it must be through God the Father, because if we're not using God the Father to create, then therefore we are really in hindsight making, because we're going to be tried by our works, we're going to be tried by our fruit of our labors. So I understand that on a whole nother level to where it's me. I'm not trying to get caught up in the ego, big bro. I understand this at another level to where I understand why you got to be tied in with the Father. Why? When you go to King James, see, and that's why I was trying to tell Mr. Gillespie, when it comes to the George name, I'm going to show him a little bit about it tomorrow. He might come, he might not. Maybe somebody related information to him. I don't really care. I'm doing what God has chosen me to do, and I'm following that path. No ego, just RICO. No ego, all RICO, just God, bro. You know, let me say it like that. And so when you look at King James' name, and then you understand King James is the same in Hebrew as it is in would be as Jacob. And then when you understand that God's name is in Jesus Christ's name. So when Jesus Christ said, pray in my name, he really saying that because when you read the Hebrew Bible, you would understand that God's name literally reads just like Jesus Christ's name. Then you would see, okay, Adam's name. Then you would see Abraham. You would see certain people's names have certain Hebrew letters to understand like why their names is built a certain way, why they tied directly to the Father. But you only get that in Hebrew, and then you can come back to the 1828. But let me tell you this. That's why I understand now, too, though, to say if God says it's going to take another 40, 60 years, I'm a lot of people to, you know, I showed them enough. I gave them a couple of marks and signs. That was it. What I feel about the eclipse, it was just a mark and a sign. Probably the only eclipse that God might have used ever in time since the prophecy that he said, when I make this one sign out of them 600 to 800 years, the people will know it's almost getting towards that time. That's all you need to know. When you read the Bible and you understand that he put it in there for you to know what time it is, that's all. That's it. That's all. So that being said, you can only catch that by understanding the Hebrew, tying it in with the English, putting it together. And when you go to what I feel like the German, a little French, a little Spanish, a little Latin, and a little Greek, those are the languages that's tied closely. So I don't want to read really no Akkadian, no Assyrian, even though my eyes might be able to get trained well enough and understanding that Joseph read 70 languages before he was able to step up to Pharaoh. So if my forefather read 70 languages, well, why not the son? Why not the son of the son of the son, who really saying, if I'm really trying to come lay it down and understand in law what really took place? Because again, Mr. Gillespie is saying by George. He's saying, yeah, you know, they were saying, so they was praying to George. They were saying, by George, bruh, it's by God. That's it. You keep saying my father, but then you know how to leave it at, you know, it's all George, man. It's like, bro, it's God, it's Jesus Christ, bro. And then it can definitely be Mr. Gillespie. But you got to put the ego to the side, big bro. You can't have your ego shooting straight up your chakra root, blowing out your head, and then everything you talking about, bro. I just sent this man. I promise you, family. I got the screenshots. I got 2 phones, family, but none of my stuff have I ever deleted, really, in dang near 7, 8 to 10 years. So I got all the messages with Kev Bro to where I can bring it up and show how I actually sent stuff. And then Mr. Kev Bro would bring me up on the show. I'd be like, he'll clown me. He'd be like, hey, man, he can't explain this one and that one. I send him the information again. 3, 4 weeks later, he has the information in his mouth, or somebody else is talking about the information. Whatever, it don't really matter to me, bro. I don't care. Because I don't get this from no Gnostic Sophia, bro. I don't get this. I'm not no lunatic, bro. I have a sound mind. I'm a blessed person who really from the small city of Texas, big money Texas, Beaumont, matter of fact. So again, my forefathers come from Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm standing up and fighting, bro, because I know you can really say that you fighting for what's real, you fighting for the truth, but you don't go against your brother. You don't attack your brother and get up every day and get your whole classroom, your whole back chat, the people that's coming in and make fun of your brother when really at the beginning of the day, where did he tie the Thomas name into being even with this I am figure? The whole time he talked for 4.5 hours or however long he talked, whatever, where did he go and say, I'm going to put up the Thomas name and direct? He didn't do that, bro, at all. So I don't see how he just was able to, oh, this is just the mindset of RICO. It's just the mindset. Bro, at the beginning of the day, you can say whatever you want to say and make up whatever you want to make up, bro. I don't care about that. I'm really, like I said, again, Deo Juventin video, bro. Super Arbo. I overcome envy by God, bro. That's my family motto, family. You know what I'm saying? I don't play about this, my boy. I like, you know, honestly, you know what I'm saying? Because shoot, you know, Kev don't want to teach nobody nothing. You know what I'm saying? He want to hide the fact of what it is and what it ain't, my boy. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no.
Hey.
Nice to meet you.
Learn with you real quick. You know what I'm saying? Because it's people like Mr. Gillespie that take away from truth, bro.
The clan takes its name from Thomas, known as Tommy Moore, a Gaelic-speaking Highlander who hailed from the clan Chattan Macintoshes. Tommy Moore was a descendant of the clan Chattan's 8th chief, William. In the 15th century, during a time when the clan Chattan Confederation grew unwieldy, Tommy Moore led his kinsmen across the Grampians to settle in Blenchie, Burnenoch, marking the beginning of the MACTHOMAS legacy.
Come on now.
Over time, variations of the name emerged, including McCamey, McColm, and McComas. To the Edinburgh government, the clan was known as MACTHOMAS, as evidenced by its description in the role of the clans within the Acts of Parliament.
How can he deny my forefather when his forefather George Gillespie, in the same time frame that my forefathers walking, you know what I'm saying? The same time from 1540 and all the way up until 2024, family. So I can chase my family heritage right to Louisiana, moving from Texas. I can understand at a larger level that Mr. Gillespie can't understand. That's why I'm going to show you right now. That's why I'm pulled up to 1933, because I'm going to talk about my family history, family, and what really took place around in the South, but understanding that this is a big thing because from Chicago on down to Louisiana was the great flood of the Mississippi, bro. They had to kill my people in Leesville, Louisiana, bro. Mount Vernon Parish, bro. Killed my forefather, Robert Thomas, bro, in 1937. So y'all sit y'all little weak selves down, you little young boys who really ain't got no ties to the land. Mr. Gillespie might do, but I don't know what you got in the chat, bro. I know who I am, and I know what I got going on. You boys ain't got this for y'all blood.
1,587 and 1,595.
What he said?
The motto, Deo Juventin Video, speaks of overcoming envy with God's help.
Come on now.
Showcasing the resilience and determination that characterized
my God, my Lord, spirit. Nigga, sit down, boy. The olive in the top, boy.
The clan's coat of arms is a visual representation of its identity. Featuring a lion rampant, a dexter hand holding a dagger, a limphad, sailing ship, and more, each element carries symbolism tied to the clan's history and values. The crest, a demi-cat mountain grasping a serpent, illustrates the clan's strength and cunning.
You heard what he said, boy? You heard what he said? You heard what we said when we do to them serpents, boy? So I don't know what y'all talking about, bro. Ain't nothing weak about RICO, bro. I done been through a lot. Still young, G. But I'm blessed to have a spirit that's way past the age of my body. So I ain't worried about what young-minded people doing, even if they got better information and understand things that I could have easily asked the question and he could have helped me understand, and we could have been fighting together. So he himself had said, Rico, I need you out there on the forefront. You're my leading my leading commander of the army. Let's get it this morning. But how could I ever get it with Mr. Gillespie, who has cut me off from even having a conversation with him long ago? Me and Mr. Gillespie ain't never once had one phone conversation off the air. We barely even had a text. So I'm not the one to play games with people and sit in people's madness. I don't care what he done been through. It's the fact that say if you growing in God and you really healing, you really having a renewed spirit, you really trying to revitalize yourself each and every day that you wake up, you don't play with people. That ain't what you do, family. You don't get up and toil with people that's getting up every day trying to get up and make sure they thinking about the same things that's pleasing to the Father and trying to do the Father's will and make sure to bring justice to heal, family. Make sure to bring these snakes, these aliens, these demons of the Trans-Baphomet, Ayin, you can call them whatever you want, family. They all got to go. I don't care who they is, family. They all go if they're against my Lord, family, the olive and the tar. You hear me? The Alpha and Omega. Let's get to it.
A lion rampant, a dexter hand holding a dagger, a lymphad, sailing ship, and more, each element carries symbolism tied to the clan's history and values. The crest, a demi at a mountain grasping a serpent, illustrates the clan's strength and cunning. The plant badge, snowberry plants, adds a natural touch to the clan's symbols. Through the generations, the MACTHOMAS chiefs played significant roles in Scottish history.
Come on now.
Ian Moore, also known as Macamie Moore, stands out for his fierce...
And sure, we just gonna move and keep it along because we played history and American history, play history and maybe a little bit because I might be again mixed in with the Robertson clan. So it's the St. Robinson clan. If I type it in right now, it's gonna bring up another video with St. Robinson clan. My family, at least my forefathers 3 times in a row, is named Robert Thomas. So I don't care what nobody really got to tell. I'm chasing something way bigger to say. When I get to the end of this, I'm knowing it's only something from the Most High. So I knowing that I'm going to try to free my people and knowing that it was something that happened at another level when it comes to my family members. So I'm definitely going to take care of my nation, Jews, Hebrews, and Israelites, because God is real, not Israel. You know what I'm saying? ISREAL. So it's in my blood, family. You know, so I don't care what anybody else got to say about the kid. I know who got me. I know whose I am and who I am. So nobody can take normal. As much as the boy could have said anything, man, he could have said the nastiest of things. That's not going to stop me from getting up, praising my Father, thanking my Lord, because you don't pray to Jesus. You thank the Lord. You know he is the king. And to God say that you supposed to pray to, because Jesus never said pray to him either. He say, ask in his name and then praise the Father. All glory to the Father. So I don't praise no man. I don't even praise Christ. I praise my Father. All glory, I magnify the Father's name. That's why God's name is in Jesus' name. It is in Adam. See, because you don't know and understand, but if you go to my video, I've already talked about this just yesterday, just 2 days ago. And I'm going to teach about it a little bit tomorrow. So definitely pull up. Anybody in the chat, anybody asking any questions, this is what they did. It could have been in 1933, or it could have happened in 1865. It could have happened in 1828, right around King George. It could have happened a little earlier in the 1600s, because again, right around when George Gillespie is writing the Aaron's Roll, which is about 1640, I believe, in Edinburgh, what they call it a Reformation. So he's over in Scotland, and he's fighting against the popery that's getting ready to take over America, which is still taking over right now. So the Roman Catholic popery was getting ready to take over Scotland, Ireland, and England was already, because that's what he was writing to. He was writing to the Church of England, letting them know, like, hey man, y'all not the lords, and the people who are the prime, everybody who's supposed to be over this trust of God, y'all are tripping right now. What's going on? We supposed to be, y'all ain't supposed to be wearing this in the church. Y'all doing this one and that one. Y'all talking about church and Easter. I mean, y'all talking about Easter, this one and that one. So Mr. George Gillespie held down the George name greatly. He wore it with a badge of honor. Mr. Kevin Gillespie, man, he doing his family a disservice, family. So I just can't do nothing but sit back and just laugh in the back time, but do it hurt to see a brother that's older than me really get his whole chat room fired up and hoorah and all that. And as he teaching the people about the devil, he himself can't control the Satan in him. so even more is to say, well, if Sonnet is talking about I'm 100% realism, and realism is to know God and not to believe in God, and I know that the faith of a mustard seed is what has gotten me through all of this and through all of this information by myself. I didn't have to listen to Kevro and everybody else that I didn't listen to outside of Kevro to understand about myself. I didn't chase Mr. Kevro. I was chasing God, the glory of my Father, and what I was promised and heard as a promise at 7, 8, 9 when I came up in True Vine Church in my little city called Beaumont, Texas. So I came up in church, and when I came up in church, I seen things that was going wrong in the church where the pastor was, they had this going on. I'm still 8, 9, 10, not understanding why we can't go to these family events no more. Well, we would go to these places called Pleasure Island in Texas, and this one and that one. So I'm a young kid not understanding the real world stuff that's going on, going through a lot in life. But that don't stop me from getting up and doing what I'm doing now. It only made me stronger. So I thank God that he allowed me to go through things. It was certain things that I made silly mistakes right there, knowing like, God, I know this is a mistake, but I'm still ready to go do it. And he still kept me and probably had to whoop me down. So, I know we get set up with trials. So what Mr. Gillespie doing right now is just a trial really for himself. And he not passing with flying colors. But for me, I'm going to show the people this is how you accept the Father's trial with a good smile, and you get ready to walk that green mile. So shout out to that brother who did that movie and passed away because that green mile is many things I have seen that empowers me and gets me fired up. I can't even really talk about it because I might only seen it once or twice. I might only seen it when I was 8 or 9, 10 years ago. And I still can remember it in my heart, in my memory banks. But it's this vast storehouse and the storage of knowledge that I understand because I connect to the Father and I've been seeking my Father's face. When God said you seek his face and you seek his wisdom, that's when you seek in the kingdom. So again, I'm not stopping at St. George. I didn't stop it. I tried to help Mr. Gillespie as much as I can, just knowing like, bro, I showed you about the temporal, about the ecclesiastical. I'm the first one that was telling you like, hey, Mr. Gillespie, I'm over here in Arizona in Phoenix, big bro, and they got this whole thing going on with Donald Trump, and I've been learning about the sovereign citizenship, and they said that's fake. That would be an oxymoron. So I'm learning about what they call national status, and then this guy named David Jose, he just put out an affidavit, and he's the one who got the audit in Arizona. So I'm right there with this guy named David Jose. I'm learning from him and trying to figure out, okay, I'm learning from a couple of people because I'm asking God, well, I've been hearing people say, you got to learn your law. You got to do this, and you got to put these things together. So I'm just trying to figure out, well, God, since day one, since I've been coming into this earth, and start realizing things, I'm like, well, money not gonna get it at all. No matter how much success, no matter how much notoriety you can have, how much you can even want to claim that you want to do right and try to do right, your little small efforts won't get things done if you leave and go outside the Father. That's first thing first. So me chasing my Father, it helped me to say, and let me tell y'all this, between 2nd to 4th grade, I looked up sitting in class, I looked up in the sky because, like I said, I grew up in church watching cartoons. I was definitely a superhero type of kid for sure. And I just looked up and I said, well, God, if it's a fight to fight, I want to fight for you, God. If it's to fight for the good, y'all. So it's many times, y'all, I could have been not in this world a long time ago just to say it's 2 times where I know one person tried to rob me and I was just going to meet my homegirl on some cool stuff. And then I was with my partner and he was going to make a little transaction. I'm young in college and we just coming from a little smoke session, and when we pull out to go to the smoke session, he's like, hey, you want to go hit this lit? And this not even my partner, this is my partner's cousin. So I barely even know, bro. But I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I'm just thinking like normal young stuff is a young G in the system of Universe 25, a young I clone Tyrone, but I'm Rico. Rico's gold, baby. So y'all hearing the gold out of Rico's mind right now. So y'all don't know I used to call myself Rico's gold and still do, but that's because I feel like I just had gold to give the world, but it's just like, again, in the way I got to bring it from the Father. So it got to be good and critiqued in a certain way. But either way, getting back to this is to say, again, both of those times I could have lost my life, and God preserved me at those times. But it's times that I just want to exit this life because I felt that the goodness was never going to get here. I felt that God was never going to, not that he wasn't going to make a change. I just feel like the prayers that I was asking God, it wasn't being answered. But I was steady reaching out. 2012, they talking about the world was going to end. I graduated towards 09 and 2012 is when I'm graduating. So I'm coming up out of high school. They talking about the world is the end. I'm like, okay, world don't end, God. I'm okay. That kind of messed me up right now. But also Future, Young Thug, all these rappers and everything is going on. And I'm like, well, Father, what is this? Because from what I know, the little bit that I know this looked evil to me. I'm not sure what a place it. I didn't know all the stuff that I know now, y'all. I didn't learn about it until the past year and a half, 2 years of my life. Whether it comes to the Kabbalah, it come to Odin and Zoo. Professor Gills taught me a lot. but it was the fact that I still went outside of him every day. I listened to this man. I say, well, God, what is it that you trying to show me that I can figure out to maybe help bring the whole class, not just Mr. Gillespie, but the whole world to be able to bow down and say it's their time. Release the Afro-American people, bro. I'm crying out to my heart every day to my Father to say, God, whatever I can do to figure out, I'm one man, y'all, but I take, man, my fingers be hurting, y'all, just to put messages. Gillespie be talking about, oh, you got them Twitter fingers. I'm like, bro, I send stuff to you in a way that you should really understand, but you get up and you find a way to talk about me out your heart, bro. You find a way to get up and clown me and try to, surround your people around me and get them to try to make a fool of me when I get up every day from the kindness of my heart, out of the goodness of my soul, knowing that my Father is real, that my Lord and Savior is real. It's a difference between the Father and the Son and Adam. It's the first angel, which is the first son, the celestial bodies, and then it's the second angels, which is Adam, and Eve is from his real. But again, the name, God saying in the end, I will call you by my name. Mr. Gillespie said that earlier, but he don't understand because he don't, well, like I said, it all go to the law. So again, when it all, not Allah, the law. So when it comes down to it, you're going to understand, yeah, the name is the most important thing you can have. If God called you by his name and he said that you was mine from the beginning and you his in the end, that's the Alpha and Omega. He said in Genesis 1:1, I'm going to start the end with the beginning. If you don't read the Genesis 1:1 in Hebrew, if you bring it up in KJV, let me see right now. Hold on. I'm going to bring it up right now. So let me bring it up. We're going to read it. Genesis 1:1 KJV. Okay, so the first line reads, in the beginning, God created the heaven and earth. So we bring this up. Let me put it up in Hebrew. Hold on. Let me go back one time. In Hebrew. So we just go look at it in Hebrew. I want to, Beryl, I wish we could look at it in the letters. Hopefully they got it in the letters. Text analysis. I want to see it in the letters, y'all. So y'all can be able to see the letters. So, matter of fact, somebody got it on here. I'm just going to the good brother over here on the YouTube channel. Hold on, y'all. Let me pause this. It's a guy that got the chart. Let me see. What did it say? Jesus will on the cross. Genesis 1:1. All right. All right, here we go right here.
Hey,
all right now. So this is how it looks right here. This is how Genesis 1:1 look. If you was to read it in the Hebrew, this is the Hebrew letter symbol. This is God. God has his words, because when you understand that, again, if Jesus Christ is the word made form, right? So that's God's mind and his word made into a form. And then that form come and save his second creation, Adam, out of sin, because even the first form was in sin himself after falling out of the grace. He fell out of the light. So again, the light bearer, that's why John 16 is so important, but Genesis 1:1 is more important to tie in with John 16, because you realize God started it with the beginning, y'all. In Genesis 1:1, when you understand why, okay, so God do things in 1, 2, 3s. You understand the ABC, to the ABZ. You saw the alphabet, the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet to the second letter, and then the last Hebrew letter and the first Hebrew letter. It would all make so much more sense to why Tesla, Elon Musk, the Pythagorean, all your geniuses, family, they had to go steal this information. And then, okay, this is how you preserve the fruit, to put it in a dry fruit way, to where you want the fruit to last for 3 months. We had to get this from language, family. Everything that we know came from God's language. Everything we breathe, the way our fingernails look, our toes, all of this. I just brought it up on the show yesterday. So it was one of the people that was learning. She was like, dang, I really appreciate that video you brought, because it was somebody that understood. They was like, I was praying to God recently, and God told me to look up the Olive and the Tav recently for the first time. And she was an older lady from the other community. So like I say, it's really funny that everybody that know that they stole the Hebrew, and everybody, let me say this, in the Tower of Babylon, everybody know they had to take their own language. The biggest secret is everybody know that they able to read the language, every language over our head. So everybody know that they speak English for sure, but then they know every other languages. So it's a lot of people that know 5 and 10 languages, at least 3, but act like they don't know barely one. but they lying the whole time. The reason why they lying is because it's the whole thing about the magic trick. The language is the magic, the spell word. So again, and I'm getting used to this because I realize now, you start off with God right hand, the right hand of justice. So we read left to right in English. Ain't that your left hand? If you read from left to right, you're reading backwards from what God told us to write. So, I mean, read, but you understand why he did it like that, to where it was already reading from right to left, then back left to right in the beginning. He already had it from A to Z in the beginning. So that's why it's so perfect, to why out of 22 letters, you can create math, science. Now, again, think about it in a theosophy way, to where they went crazy. But think about this. Theosophy. Theo, in etymology, Theo is the God. So theology is really the study of God. So at the beginning of the day, what happens is, when they take and was able to take the law, they was able to take the people names, they was able to remix the history, remix the language to make us think outside of what we thinking. So the words is here, but we got to kind of remix the meaning of them. We got to make sure that we try to put a new spin of what a okay, so we think of the fork as a fork, right now, but just think about how the fork is a pitchfork too, and just think about agriculture, to where you can be a supplanter or a farmer, and just as you kind of go back in history, you be like, okay, well, I get to the 1828 dictionary, you realize the fork, just multiple things you can say. I'm gonna say this, that God, he strings everything along. So that's why you don't pass pearls to swine, as I've been realizing now, because God is on the string. He is that the Alpha and Omega, that linear equation. He's never changing, never ending. He's also the circle. He's not the Boros, but he's the circle of life, the infinity. He's the eternal. He's the eternity circle. So that's why I'm trying to tell Mr. Kev this the whole time. I'm like, Kev, you brought up the Chi Ro, the Kev the whole time you talking about this for at least, about a year. I never knew what you were talking about, because Mr. Kev never ever even, I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. I'm not nobody to bow down to no man. I don't think any of my information or any of my money I spend is to say that you gotta do something for me. What I feel like is, if I put out a certain type of energy, if I present and I show myself in a certain type of way, I expect people to reciprocate their energy. And when they don't, well, I just enjoy myself. I just thank God I got the ability to try to control my anger, have me a good time, laugh, because I do a little trolling, but I really just been trying to get to the truth fast as possible. I'm really trying to leave no stone unturned. So I know, again, that's why Jesus Christ is the foundation. He's the cornerstone of what I can teach at a whole type of math level, to where it comes to the tetragrammatron, to what God's name is Yahweh. So you say God's name, Yahweh is read, I believe, in the Yod, Hey, Vav, Hey. So when you say Yahweh is YHWH, but to understand why they love the Kabbalah so much, they only took a piece of this. You take the Kabbalah and you got to times, I believe, 64. And then you would have almost a semi-decent understanding of how they've been able to create AI to the point they're be able to do. But it took them to steal the Ark of the Covenant, because God put the Ark of the Covenant on a wheel. He put it on a wheel, y'all. The Ark of Covenant rolled on a wheel. So why you think that the black sun, the people that's evil, bro, is a wheel? They under the covenant. They the people who even stole this. It makes so much sense to me when I'm like, dang, God, like I all this I'm just discovering over the past 2-3 months. Just saying, I don't care what anybody else got to say about me. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna fight for what's right, and I'm gonna fight for the right thing and not just anything. So that being said, I understood that, okay, even if they didn't necessarily steal, I'm gonna say this. I can't say what form the ark is in. I can say that when I think about how I rode on the wheel back when we carried it on the wheel, it just made sense to why this thing was so important at the destruction of Jerusalem, to where when they said in the biblical scripture, now this is supposed to be in the biblical scripture, that the Ark of the Covenant is actually hidden in the Mount Nebo. Now check this out, y'all. Mount Nebo, they have the Mount Nebo over in Europe, Israel or wherever, across over there in Euro-Asia, wherever that's at. That's about only 4,000 to almost 6,000 square feet tall or whatever. Not really tall at all. The one that's in America, family, in Judah, family, what they call it, Utah, they call it Utah, Judah. It stands about 11 to 13,000, maybe 14,000 square feet. It's 2 to 3 times taller than the dang mountain. So this is why it's important that when Mr. Kev don't understand why the olive and the Taub is being made as a mark and a sign, to where I'm telling y'all right now, the mark that's coming on October 2nd, I believe is going to make the symbol. I said this just last night on my show. It's going to make the symbol of what God has taught me and helped me to understand at a whole nother level. That this don't even got nothing to do with the Hebrew. This got to do with math. This got to do with God's sacred geometry, to where I'm stringing every subject of God along on the string and taking it piece by piece, piecing this whole masterpiece together to where Kev say they won't have no plausible deniability. They gonna go running up out them courts. They gonna be like, man, them boys gonna say, hey, bro, from the beginning of time to the end of time, we them people, bro. The hell is you talking about? Man, we run them devils up out the synagogue, man. Hey, trying to run them devils up out the synagogue. Who I say, Gentile, Philistine, go in my God. Man, that's how I'm feeling, bro. Every time I wake up, bro, I ain't playing with them, bro. So I don't care about all that little small, because these niggas, but I got Sidnetta. I posted this on my channel because Instagram deleted. They took my Instagram last night, talking about I sold my password to a site to try to get extra likes and shares and stuff like that. So I screenshotted them, and when I screenshotted them, as a matter of fact, I'm going to show y'all right now because it ain't nothing. Go and make it easy for the kid to just show what I'm talking about, and I don't have to talk out the side of my neck. I can just show the people, and I don't have to be no goofy brain, whatever Mr. Gillespie want to talk about the kid. I could easily just go and show the people, family. So I just thank God that he done made it easy for the kid. And the kid that did, go split your wig. You know what I'm saying? So let me show you right here. So right here, I can't blow it up, but it says right here, we live on YouTube. Reason why? I'm letting them know. Last night they hacked my Instagram. I tagged Donald Trump, the Central Intelligence Agency, Homeland Security, Silicon Valley, the Meta, Facebook Security, and I told them by in the morning I need my Instagram back. So I'm going to show y'all the post right here. Where it said, let me go to it 1 second. Oh, hold on. Maybe they might have been. Okay, I'm supposed to go to the right. Let me see this. Maybe I'm supposed to go to the right here. Okay, nope. Let me bring it up on the Facebook. Don't even worry. Don't even worry about it. We got it right on the book, family. Big Reek got y'all. I got y'all today, family. We're gonna get to it today. I want to see my profile. Bring me to my profile. Yeah, let's go down to my page one time. Hold on 1 second, Joe. Cause they ain't gonna play. Look, I'm not the one to be played with. You feel me? I'm gonna teach. You really go get the Facebook, bro. I've been teaching for the past 2 months at a high level. Okay, hold on, wait. We almost there, y'all. Because I had to post it. So here, they go Kev. He turned me to the side. Kev called me I am. Where did he connect the St. Thomas name to this demon devil besides him just saying, oh, it's Rico mine and his thoughts and the way he... So, bro, that's just him just talking his ego, bro. Again, don't let y'all ego get the best of y'all, bro. So, okay, here we go right here. So, let me bring it. Okay. So, I can zoom in. Can I zoom in on this? I can only zoom in a little bit. Okay, well, let me go back to the original. Let me go back to the original. Let me see if I can go down a little bit. Hopefully this didn't bring me to the, this brought me to the top of my page. Hold on. Y'all bear with me. This it right here. Okay, this it right here. Let me see if I can click on that. Okay, so it said you have been logged out. This was last night, y'all. I believe I was just getting ready to go. I'm getting ready to prepare to go live at about 8:39. So I'm like, chilling, doing my studies, do what I do during the day. You know what I'm saying? Watch Mr. Gillespie talk about me for 4.5 hours. I tried to call in earlier, and I was like, well, dang, it took a lot of, not energy at me, but I was like, well, you know, it take a lot. It do take a lot to talk to Mr. Gillespie and get the 20 things I got to him, y'all. So like I say, I'm the one that taught him about, again, knowing that when you get to the law, because I forgot off right there, you got to go to the ecclesiastical. You got to go to the heir, to the inheritance. I was telling him about that before he even started bringing it up. So when he started bringing up the civil little mortis, I'm telling him about that. When he bringing up the sesquicubic trust, I'm telling him about that. I got the screenshot, y'all. I got the text messages. I got them all. But at the beginning of the day, it don't really matter to me because I'm not up here to be doing no bragful and boastful stuff. So when they did that, and again, so this is why Jesus Christ's name is the name of the Father. So hold on. Let me see. Spoke. The Almighty Father Yahweh, red and black lettering. The Almighty equals the Father. So that'll be the Abba red. You said, Jesus spoke. Hold on. I might not put it. I got it over somewhere. Hold on. Let me get to it, bro. Let me go through these screenshots real quick. Okay, so it says your account was compromised. It say it looks like You shared your password with the service to help you get more likes or followers, which goes against our community guidelines. Change your password to continue using Instagram. If you share your new password with one of these services, you may get blocked from the following, liking or commenting. You may get blocked from following, liking, or commenting. Or they said that they might take my whole channel. So I got a Threads now, y'all. So this morning they gave it back to me because I said, well, God, because this was happening last night. I'm getting ready to go live. I seen this happen. I'm like, well, dang, what happened? I was getting ready to tell the people I'm getting ready to go live, y'all, in 10 minutes, pull up on me or whatever. So as I go into my phone, it's like, dang, Father, they playing with me again for the fourth time, because right when I was talking about the human trafficking, so Mr. Gillespie brought up Ryan Garcia. And when I seen Ryan Garcia was doing what he was doing, man, I went to fighting even harder. So I'm tagging Ryan, I'm tagging Aaron. I say, bro, y'all ain't fighting up for the kids. Y'all worried about Devin Haney, Floyd Mayweather. I started showing that Floyd Mayweather was really sold out to Al Hyman, and Al Hyman is tied in with like Michael Jackson. He tied in with all the music industry people. So Al Hyman, the CEO, executive, whoever he is in boxing, this big dude in boxing who signed all your boxers or whatever, he really signed music artists too. So he sold out music artists too, and no telling who else he sold out. So I'm showing that Mayweather came up under him, and then Jay Prince and Mayweather hook up, and then they get Adrian Bronner. They signed Javante Davis. Only person that's fighting against this is Ryan Garcia right now. So I even tagged Ryan Garcia today on my Instagram, and I say, hey, Ryan Garcia, hey man, punch the devil out them boys, bro, and man, lay them Laker fire hands on them boys, bro, and just rain down the Lord on them boys, bro, because I'm right, man. I'm up in to be up in my 30s, bro. Man, Ryan Garcia only 24, 25, bro. And so to see a young brother not have nobody to talk to, bro, that hurt my heart when I listen to Mr. Gillespie try to clown and talk about people, and people that just try to call in and say sometimes they might got it twisted. That sometimes they might got it wrong. But you got to be God, so you got to be like, I don't know if that's Peter or who it is in the Bible, but you got to make it simple to and plain to all people, bro. So you can't have no ego doing that, bro. You got to get trust with the people, for the people to really want to work with you and build with you and support you. So, people sending the man $500. This one and that one, thousands of dollars. I bet I just got my first donation after I didn't put down there. Like I told Mr. Gillespie, I can sit up and have a seminar, but it's only 24 hours in a day. I can do 30 hours in a day. You know what I'm saying? And teach right from what I want to teach from. I'm not going to give, but I can tell the people because I'm somebody that give my trade secrets. I'm somebody that's going to tell you the things that's deep within my mind that God been able to show me that people can utilize and use and take further, because I'm not somebody that's stingy with any of my information. But I understood that it's certain things that they will take that once you start putting it out there. So at the beginning of this year, it was one video that God showed me specifically that I showed to a couple of people. They might understand it a little bit. They definitely understand it way more now that they've been following me and let me show them what God has been revealing to me and taking it out of proverbs and parables and making it plain. Just like Jesus Christ said in, I believe, John 16, but I believe also John 14. And Jesus Christ said it's going to be made plain in the last of days. And so that's going to be for sure by the Spirit of truth, for sure by him, the Spirit of truth, but also even more so by the ones who are the chosen people, who are the shepherds, who are the sheep that want to listen to those shepherds. No matter what color they is, no matter what bloodline they is, it's the people who want to go into truth. You hear me? Who want to build trust has to go with truth. You can't have trust without truth. You can't have that. It don't go along. It don't go along together. It's certain things you got to have in this world, and it's principles, morals, values, and integrity. So we fight definitely in the flesh, but we also fight in the spirit. You know what I'm saying? And that's the most important. So it's just to say that Mr. Gillespie, no, Yahweh ain't Yam, bro, at all. Matter of fact, that's what's crazy, bro. Look, K-Mo, bruh, I don't know if you still in here, or ma'am, or whoever you is. This is what's crazy. Mr. Gillespie did that whole display. First of all, he didn't tie the St. Thomas name to anything. More than anything, my name is tied to the true people of the Bible, of that book. My name is tied to his kinsman, if he is a true Scot, if he is a true heir of the British right, if he is a true heir of the American right, if he is a true heir of God, then I'm his kinsman, just like the other 12 tribes and the other people who would be, to say we really are kinsmen under Adam. You know what I'm saying? And so everybody on this earth, besides the people who spiritually don't want to go through the door of Christ. So Kev can be the wall. Kev be the wall. Nothing wrong with that, bro. But you're not the door, bro. It don't stop at St. George. You must go through the door of Jesus Christ and then go into the kingdom of our Father. and coming to the kingdom of heaven on earth. So Kev is like trying to put himself in front of the door of Jesus Christ and saying, I'm the wall, but it's like, bro, you the wall connected to the door, bro. It's like we connect. You not the people can make it to the wall and then say, hey, okay, I can remove Mr. Gillespie and still go right through the door. Mr. Gillespie, you didn't taught me enough, brother. Get out the way. You know what I'm saying? Because your ego, you won't let it go. And it's stuff that I'm trying to get done in my own life that you're making it hard because I'm trying to figure out and ask questions. And every time I just sent you $50, not me personally, but I know it's people that has probably sent him $50, $100, try to ask one question or try to maybe talk about something in the best way they could because Mr. Gillespie is not making it easy for the people to learn. I'm making it easy. I didn't put the stuff that y'all can go, y'all paying for Mr. Gillespie Discord right now. I didn't put everything on my Instagram, my threads, my Facebook 100 times more than what Mr. Gillespie didn't put in his child. So when I was fit to say about Mr. Gillespie with his own homework is displayed on the screen today, and he overlooked a very important fact, child, that Yahweh and Yam have a not just a love-hate relationship. That Yam is the arch nemesis of Yahweh. That Yahweh stands alone and has no one standing next to him because he is the great Elohim. He is the El Shaddai. He is the Abba, my father. He is the Yahweh. You feel me? He is the Aleph and the Tav, the Alpha and Omega, the Chi-Ro. He is the creator of the Chi-Ro, of Lil Kev-Ro and his ego. So again, why would not my father show that he walked himself down today and yesterday? So he gonna let his ego be what it be. Hopefully somebody get it through to him. Hopefully he'll humble himself and really understand the best thing to really free your people. Let me tell y'all this. You got one brother that know a little English. You got one brother that know a little German. You got one brother that know a little Latin. One brother that know a little French. One brother that know a little, but we all connected in God at the top level when it come to business, when it come to law. So as we walk in, say if God say, well, hey, y'all, in 2024, I marked that sign. Whatever president was voted in, it is what it is. But I'm going to give y'all this next shift from 24 to 25 to show me what y'all can do. It's enough information in this world. It's enough going on from what P did it. And to me, when you're thinking at high level stuff, you will understand how everything I'm talking about really matters to what you got to understand. You got to discover your own family name. So when it comes to my family name and to understanding that my family is in Louisiana and it's a lot of agricultural things going on in Louisiana, 630 American, well, not American, 630. Matter of fact, let's get to it. So again, I don't like just talking. I like showing my people so they don't be confused, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't like my people to feel like, oh, I didn't know what was going on. They was just talking out the side of their neck, blah, 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 blah. Let's get to it.
Responding to the outbreak of war in Europe, the U.S. Congress mobilized the National Guard and Reserve in 1939 and approved personnel increases that more than doubled the size of the regular Army. To train this new force and assess the readiness of current equipment and doctrine, Army Chief of Staff General George C. Marshall directed the Army to conduct large-scale field exercises. But even before Marshall's directive, 3rd Army was training soldiers for war. In 1936, 3rd Army held its first command post exercise, the 2-week Battle of Texas. In 1938, 3rd Army conducted the first of several large-scale comprehensive field exercises, known as the Louisiana Maneuvers, against notional coalition forces invading from the south.
Now, I'm going to just say this real quick. The Louisiana Maneuvers is them reenacting World War I, and while they reenacting World War I, and I might have got to run back because I might have already missed what they just said, the 630,000. So we finna run it back just a little bit to the beginning because I might have already missed it because I went and walked and got me some water. But at the beginning of the day, the Louisiana Maneuvers, they said they marched 630,000 people into Louisiana. The small town of Leesville, Mount Vernon Parish is only about a 10 to 15 square mile city. That's where my grandfather, that's where my family from. So I know Mr. Gillespie is over there from San Francisco and wherever he from and all of this place and LA and blah, blah. Now, that's cool. I'm not taking it from that man. Washington, New York, wherever he want to be from. He want to be for everywhere he want to be from because he wanted to be overjoyed. And that's cool. But God saying everybody is of the true Hebrew, Israelite, Jews, not Jewish, the true Jew, the true Jews of God. You know what I'm saying? The ones who are the sons and daughters of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the 12 tribes, they all got a little piece of this action right now. The more and more that they be able to put the stuff that's true together, and then they go back and start looking at, okay, what was my last name It's my family name, y'all. So my family name, many of my family members is this one. So I'm letting y'all know. But my last name is actually somebody my mama thought was my daddy, and it wasn't even my daddy. My daddy's actually real last name, my actual paternal father, is named Holman. That's my father's last name, Terrence Holman. That's his name. And so my mother's name, she come from a family of Thomases, but her daddy's name is a Carey, Carry. And then when it comes down to right what I was going to say, my last name was a man. My mama, like, you know how we do, we promiscuous and stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. She thought this other Hawaiian guy was my father, but he wasn't. So my father's actually Afro-American. So it was really gonna be a Hawaiian dude. So that would have been crazy. I definitely would have been mixed. But really, Rico is thorough and thorough Afro-American. I ain't gonna lie, copper tone from the blood, Adamite. I don't know. You know, I can see the mixing people, but for some reason, I know my great auntie, who's 87 years old, she's still living in the same city. All of this that happened right now, my auntie is there right now. I gotta call her tomorrow. She's weighing heavy on my heart. You know what I'm saying? You know what my auntie said that she was fighting for when I talked to her? She said, baby, you know, my daughter's there in witchcraft, and you know, you the only person that I've been able to talk to about these things. I ain't been able to talk to nobody. Say I got Alzheimer's, I'm crazy. I've been asking God to send somebody to me, but you the only person that's showed me things that I could probably try to do to help with my daughter. Not probably, it's for sure. It's if she want to try to do it, and in the ways that she able to utilize it. I gave it to her plain and simple. Top level information, broken down like a true scientist of the most high. But at the beginning of the day, she in the city of Leesville, Louisiana, right now. And she said, I'm trying to get my forefather, my dad. They killed my dad in 1937. My auntie was born in the year 1937. Before my auntie was even born, my great-granddaddy was already dead. You hear me? And so, again, like I said, she said, I'm trying to get my daddy's birthright. She said that to me, family. She ain't even here. And my first time even talking to my great Auntie Lee. You know what I'm saying? My first time even getting able to even understand I got family over in Louisiana that's tied direct, you know, that come from my forefather, my grandfather that I was just growing up with in the house with, coming up and just like not having no really, because my daddy, Joe Biden, and his crooked government and this evil people from the 60s and the hippie movement and the LSD with Cameroon and how they took the psychotrauma and the psychic driving and all of these things that they did to create this little effect of a twilight zone and a dead mind and a dead spirit, bro. They put this on my family members. So I'm just thankful that I made it out and had a good spirit tonight. Try to change on people and try to go get back on people. That I'm even trying to clown Mr. Gillespie. I ain't said one bad thing about Mr. Gillespie at all yet. Just that he got his ego in the way. That's it. He need to get his ego out the way. That's it. Trust in God. You got to trust in your heart. Y'all got to know if God is within us, then you got to follow your conscience. That's that word. Now, I'm not saying everything that comes to your mind is right. You got to know that sometimes we think crazy thoughts, but that's why we are imperfect. But that's why you just don't go rush to do anything either. Patience is a virtue. Amen. So again, God don't talk in just mysterious ways. He talk in obvious ways. So it's just a blessing that my aunt is alive and breathing. And the thing that she said was on her mind, I'm trying to get my forefather's birthright because my forefather got this amount of land. It got this up under and around it. But I know it's even greater than that when I just think about when she was telling me, and I started putting World War I, the Harlem Hellfighters that Mr. Gillespie talking about. You know where they trained at? At the Army facility base in Leesville, Louisiana that they created. They turned it from Fort Polk to Fort Johnson. So both the World War I and World War II heroes fought they were trained in the city that my grandfather was killed in. He dead, family. Dead and gone. Land taken and stolen and parceled out, family. So my forefathers, some might have took part in it, but I know it's good ones that said nah, and they died because of it, family. Martyrs. I'm just here for my St. Thomas family, and it's in my blood, family. So it's a long time I've been calling out just to say, God, I don't know what even a captivity is. I didn't know nothing. I didn't hear really nothing about too much about the Deuteronomy 20. I didn't know nothing about that. Yeah, all I knew was the promise of God, the teachings of Jesus Christ, and how good he was a little bit. Probably seen a movie or two when I was younger, heard a little bit about Bible study as a kid, and I say I'm running with God, man. That's it. That's my end all be all. I don't know nothing else about this world. So let's listen about what took place in in the 1930s when they got the Ethiopia War that Mr. Gillespie was talking about, the Abyssinian War, Haile Selassie, and when they got Marcus Garvey going on, and they got the Russian Revolution, and then they got the Spanish Revolution going on, and they all talking about they got these revolutions and fights going on, but they got the 1927 flood that's going up from the top of Louisiana, from the bottom of Gulf of Mexico up to the top of Chicago, up there at what's that? I don't know if that's Lake New Hampshire. I forgot what the lake is called, Lake Hudson. So it's flooded all up and down that. Then you got the 1929 stock market crash. Then you got 1933 where Franklin Delano Roosevelt is signing the Banking Act, to where he said we taking all the gold, but then also we making y'all the enemies of the state. What that means is we're able to take y'all as pirates. So again, I was going to show this, and this is going to be the last thing I'm going to show, and then we're going to touch back on what I want to bring up. We're going to touch back on this at the next episode of the same playlist. So y'all know that I'm going to pick off right from here on the next episode, because I talked way longer than I wanted to, but it's a blessing because it's a blessing. It's easing the stressing for the people that might have thought I'm against them, when really I'm for everybody that's for my father, and I'm even for the people that got it twisted and against me or my father. I'm just trying to help bring them maybe into a conscious mind and into a right mind and to a competent mind. You know what I'm saying? And so again, what I was supposed to say was Franklin Delano Roosevelt, he took an oath office. He took the allegiance just like Martin Luther King did as Moloch and Baal. So they made a sacrifice. So the 1933 is like Franklin Delano Roosevelt, in his own words, when you get him up there, and just like how Professor just taught about P.O.W.S, which was a great teaching. So it's just, it's crazy how he generated a little bit off of goodness with the God, but then it's like, his hate and his envy still propelled him to get to something to where I'm able to teach it at a level that he can't even see. So when I go back and look at Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and at the beginning, that I'm going to show y'all right after this video. So we're going to look at this 1 minute video, and then we're going to jump and look at the 7 minute video, and then I'm going to leave it after that. After we look at the 7 minute video, I'm going to shut it down tonight, and I'm going to crank up tomorrow on something else. And then in the evening at about 8:39, I'm going to do a double up, and we're going to jump back into the 1933 and how this all connect to the 0 point, which is Adam being born, up into the present time right now, and going on into the future, and to God say the consummation of time, condemnation of judgment, the great day of reckoning. And so again, we're going to listen to that and watch how all this has got to do with everything for the people to be able to see in their own families. What did we lose? What did our families do? What were we good at? How what was the blessings that we received from the Father prior to the destruction? So I know what I'm fighting for and what I should be looking at, whether it comes to my town, my city, my family. So it's certain stuff that, because I started looking at my family name, I started trying to understand where my family come from. It started making more sense to me, to where, again, Louisiana is a state, Louisiana, Leesville, that certain city, it had a lot of lumber trees, y'all. So I think about the trees of Lebanon, or the trees of the redwood. Say we had these big grand trees in Louisiana, there was trees that had to be cut and chopped down, and then they took it and then they went shipped them, of course, across the way to where they reproducing the tree. But it's like these trees, first of all, would have marked that this was the biblical era. This was biblically America was the biblical area of the Bible, but also that Leesville was a very important place, let alone so many things, to where I say, again, when it come back to even Mount Nebo of Utah, man, there's so many things that I can tie to where, like, I realize why so many of the great things that they find in Utah is stuff that has taught the world. They like, okay, we at the sacred geometry level, we the first ones to put out this 2-hour video teaching about the sacred geometry in the way that nobody's ever taught it before. So at the beginning of the year, and that's what I was saying, at the beginning of the year, I put that video out, y'all, to about 1,000 people. I kept forwarding this video. AI went and deleted the video off of YouTube, and then nobody could have it no more. But luckily, I found it in one other place, and I screen recorded. I still have yet to brought the video up. But that's why I say, again, I have all these multiple subjects, so much information, a lot. But I can make it so simple, so easy to say, y'all, all I'm doing every day I get up is just trying to fight for God, doing his will, fight for the truth, trying to get the governor, the big G, the Most High. God is the governor of this ship. This world is his, this universe, man. It's just so much I can teach, but, time is our currency, y'all. That's why I was supposed to say, too, with Franklin Delano Roosevelt, that when he created that, when he did the Banking Act of 1933, this is how powers work. and how they did it. So because we tied to the land, they had to try to figure out a way, of course, with the water and riparian rights. But this is how it's written in law. So when he did the 1933 Banking Act and this little agricultural thing, it said that therefore the federal government became pirates, right? And they were able to take, they say if we take it at sea, it's called booty. So pirates like to get the booty and go take the, so when I think about it, even when it comes down to like, man, just the Trans-Baphomet agenda about that, think about the boondocks and just different ways that didn't put booty in our mind, and well, even how Professor Gillespie brought up yams and then tying it back to POTUS, and like I'm able to see it from a whole nother spectrum that is saying again, Professor, I'm not trying to take away from nothing you're saying. Let's just build together. Why are we not linking up and just teaching and making sure that we tying it back into everything we're supposed to be going to? Real time, real history. That's it. No time immemorial, bro. That's it. That's all. Law at the highest level. Ecclesiastical, no temporal. We're supposed to be of the spirit, but we knowing that we got to see it in the letter of the law too. So that's why God's word is finite, but it's infinite too. So you got to see it. You got to see it, but you got to also believe it. So that's why Sinetta and them lose, because Sinetta and them only know but don't believe. And for the people that do believe, you got to know, if you truly believe, you got to know how to reprove yourself and show yourself approved by the Most High. So let's tap in right here.
Responding to the outbreak of war in Europe, the U.S. Congress mobilized the National Guard and Reserve in 1939 and approved personnel increases that more than...
Now, they say in 1939, y'all. Now, I got 3-4 different accounts where it say 1937 when we was out there, 1938, 19... Then they got the accounts saying, well, okay, we had Afro-Americans going out to help Stalin. They said we got Afro-Americans. Did I hear what I said? They said we got Afro-Americans going out to help Stalin in his war. And then we got people, that, of course, Mr. Gillespie talked about us going to help out in the Ethiopian war. And so I believe we helped out in the Spanish war too. So there's 3 wars in less than 3-4 years that supposedly Afro-Americans would help. We wouldn't help Stalin, not in the war. This is what we went did. We wouldn't help Stalin rebuild. We were supposed to go work for Stalin. So Stalin was supposed to be getting this grand little thing of I need workers. I'm fit to build this grand thing, whatever. And they said Afro-Americans went out there to go help this. But when you go look for the records, you know what the records in? German, Latin, French, Greek. So why wouldn't more than I wouldn't want to learn no mother? You know what I'm talking about? Bruh, the man, Gillespie make me mad, because it's like, bro, you're supposed to be raising up students to know how to keep going first and go into the lion's mouth, into the lion's den, and slay the lions that would be not the lions that's of Judah. It's the lions of, what's that little demon that he showed with that little head on him the day before? Is that the Magi? Oh, yeah. So they go back to the Hermes Trismegistus, to where I showed Professor about the Hermes Trismegistus. Let me tell y'all this. Before Cat Williams went up there and said what he said, I'm seeing the Hermes Trismegistus a week earlier at another level, to where I'm like, okay, God, this tie in with what I was bringing up about the cause let me say this. It was something that I was researching, y'all, and I was already tying it in, and I had that Hermes Trismegistus, and then Cat Williams came up, and I was like, okay, well, I'm going to research the oh, that's what it was. I apologize. I already brung up the Magi. So I had the Magi. I had the matriarchal priesthood, which is the Taj cap bearer. So when Professor brought up the Dagon hat, and when you think about I am, and you understand that they talked about Inky and Lil, so we bringing it back to the first 1,000 years. So I brought up the gala yesterday on the phone with Professor. So I really was like, Mr. Professor really cut me off, and I could have really talked this at another level, and we could have talked about I am. Let me say this. He needs to have it to where he bring up StreamYard, you can bring up 3, 4, 5 people. Or if you want to bring up your phone, be able to sometimes let people call in and have a 3-4 way calling, bro, because you taking away from something. If you're getting paid $500-$800 in a day by people supporting you, make it worth their while, bro. I don't get no money, and I make it worth y'all while. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want to hit the Cash App, hit the like, share, and subscribe. Look, if you came in and you ain't hit that like, share, or subscribe, and you hear me getting live before and after 5, what is you doing right now, family? Support the real, not the fake and the phony, homie. But at the beginning of the day, it's to say, I'm somebody that know about real coding. I know about real algorithms, and I ain't even learned it, child. I learned a little bit of school about physics, math, geometry, calculus. I was an Excel student, but bad as heck. But not so bad that I was like doing the worst things. But I'm one of those bad kids that like being a class clown. But I was naturally smart, y'all. But at the beginning of the day, it didn't amount to nothing coming through life up until the point I started graduating from Calvary University. I started understanding about God more. This one up until in 2017, I was like, God, I already wasn't believing in you in 2014, 2012, around that, but you showed me you was real. So I got testimony on testimony at a whole nother level, y'all. That's like so cool that I'm gonna show the people, and it's a blessing. But it's to say, at leading up into 2019, 2020, it was like I was getting sad again, because I'm like, well, God, what can I do? What can I do to help my family? You show me that I can help heal people by you helping me heal myself. But it's like, no matter if I got and went to school and became a chemical engineer, if I wanted to be an astronaut, or if I became a president, or the ambassador, or the police chief, or this one, I just felt in my heart, I'm like, God, nothing gonna fix it. What can I do? And so it took a year or two, and then bam, stuff was going on with Trump. And I made it out to where I moved from my state of Texas out towards the West. And then that was going on to where I was able to witness what was going on with Trump and take part in it, to where I created affidavits. I did studying on state constitutions. I got in the law, y'all. I know the law. Mr. Gillespie don't know. Rico know the law, y'all, to the T. And ready to learn and show myself more approved more than anything. I just been taking the time to make sure, well, God, when I get to going and diving in deep and going deep dives, I like to make sure that I'm not going just into just BS that not going to amount to anything at the beginning of the day to say, well, now that I know everything is tied on the string, I want to make sure that I get to the most potent form of the information. So when I come back and bring it, I know that just one pearl off that string of pearls, y'all, can bring a billion ideas. And then billion ideas can create, each one of those billion ideas can create $1 billion worth of revenue. And so that's gazillion, but also just that one pearl can create, like I say, a billion gazillion ideas. So it's just like, y'all, we are those billion gazillion ideas in human form. That's why God say, I did it. I made in Genesis 1:1, which I didn't really get to show that to y'all too. So we'll get to that later. But in the Hebrew, he said, in Genesis 1:1, in the Hebrew, it read, in the end, I started it with the beginning. I mean, let me read that right. The beginning and the end. I started the beginning with the end. Let me pull up my phone. For my homegirl, let me show this. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Let me pull this up real quick, because I definitely want to pull this up. So bear with me real quick, because it's a verse. So I'm teaching my friend yesterday, and my friend say, you know what you showed me yesterday, it reminded me of this verse. Man, she put the verse. I couldn't do nothing but say, man, God, man, come on, Lord. You know, you just showing me more and more how real it is, and why not to get caught up in your ego and trust in the Lord. Hey, Instagram, y'all bear with me. So I got to pull this up on my phone. I'm actually screenshotting my Instagram chat so I can go back and DM the people personal good information and videos. Y'all hold on with me in the back chat. So let me see what this verse was, y'all. Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Okay, this was Isaiah 46, 9 and 10. So I'm going to bring it up real quick. Hold on 1 second. Let me get back to Instagram, because I got them live over there on the Instagram, y'all. Hold on 1 second. Okay, we back live on Instagram with y'all over here. We back live. Okay. So let me play this video, and then we just bring that over real quick.
Then doubled the size of the regular army. To train this new force and assess the readiness of current equipment and doctrine, Army Chief of Staff General George C. Marshall directed the Army to conduct large-scale field.
So look, they got George C. Marshall, George S. Patton is here. They got Dwight Eisenhower is at the Louisiana maneuvers. I believe man, there's so many big players at the Louisiana maneuvers. It's crazy, y'all.
Exercises. But even before Marshall's directive, Third Army was training soldiers for war. In 1936, Third Army held its first command post exercise, the 2-week Battle of Texas.
Okay, so now, so that's why I'm saying. Now, I understand that in the same year, 1937, 1938, if it wasn't 1939, I believe it was 1937, I just showed the other day they had the Great White National Triumphalist Fair of Dallas, Texas. In the same fairground, they had 150,000 KKK members show up, which really look right now in Hindu, over there in the Hindu culture, they get around, I don't know how many times they do this a year, if they do this once a year or 3-4 times, once every 4 years, but they get around 40 to 50 million people, y'all. And those great people that look like dolls off a Street Fighter, they come up out the mountains, they look like they've been eating on animals and kids and all type of little things and practicing all type of evilness, and they come up out of the mountains and everybody dancing around doing all type of retarded stuff. And it's to say that again, just imagine that they pulled up to Texas and they held the ceremony, and then they got people coming to the Negro Fair, let alone the Chicago Fair of 1933 and stuff like that, when it's the Jewish Day of August 12th. But then you got on July 3rd, let alone the July 4th barbecue that Mr. Gillespie always allude to, is to say you bring Afro-Americans to Soldiers Field, which is, I believe, the Chicago Bass Field or whatever football team and baseball team play at this field. Bro, it's probably Afro-American Negro bones stacked under the stadiums. So when I think about the movie Batman, and I think about the last part of the Dark Knight series when the stadium blew up, bro, I be thinking about all type of stuff in my head that God made it so simple to say, son, you're not too far off. And look at this right here. You see this A right here? You see this right here? This right here is hollow. This is the hollow. But guess why I got the A in there, y'all? It's a mark and a sign. This is the same thing that showed on the map right there with the sprinkle of St. Thomas. I'm telling you, they take from everything. That's all they did was just took. So they taking the hollow, they taking the circle. Captain America, think about why Captain America was so, bruh, they just took everything from God, family.
In 1938, Third Army
The red and the blue, the proton and then the electron, the atom, man, bro, it's so, man, God is good, bro.
conducted the first of several large-scale comprehensive field exercises known as the Louisiana Maneuvers against notional coalition forces invading from the south. The 1938 maneuvers trained more than 58,000 soldiers in a 4-state area, Louisiana, Texas, Alabama, and Mississippi, in all aspects of combat. The 1941 Louisiana maneuvers were the largest U.S. Army peacetime maneuvers up to that time. More than 600,000 soldiers.
More than what? More than 6? So we're going to leave that right there. We're going to get over here to Isaiah, what that is, 46, 9 and 10. Because at the beginning of the day, bro, I can't play, bro. 600,000 soldiers pulling up on my grandfather, and the city no smaller than the city that I know I'm born and raised in, bro. I can drive in 7 to 8 minutes anywhere in the city called Beaumont, Texas, bro. So even more so in Leesville, Louisiana, Mount Vernon Parish, bro. What the fuck did they do to my folk, man, bro? I'm mad and aggravated every day I get up, bro. I cried to my father just asking and pleading in my heart, bro. God, just show me what happened to my people, bro. Because, you know, it hurt me when I'm looking at my young kinfolks being misled by Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion. And I know that Megan Thee Stallion killed her mama and her grandma. And y'all did the Hot Girl Summer in 2020, right after you killed your people in late 2019, early 2020. You signed a Rock Nation and all this evil stuff that you're getting tied in with. You and Nicki Minaj, best of friends. And then, I know Cardi B, my fault. So my bad, y'all. So, hold on. So was it Nicki Minaj or Cardi B she did the song with? So I'm confused right now because I know she's linking up with all of them, but I know she was beefed up with Nicki. But it's to say I did my research and I believe it was Nicki and it was Megan Thee Stallion dancing and shaking their all across the screen in 2020, early Hot Girl Summer status. So it's just to say y'all beefed up because y'all ain't nothing but bots. And so it ain't just them. It's Jay-Z. It's the P. Diddy's. It's the Harvey Weinsteins, the Jeffrey Epsteins. It's your Leo Cohans. It's your hackers like my boy who I brought up that was hacking Nipsey Hussle who owned YouTube, but he teaching everybody how to hack YouTube and how to get your Instagram and all of this going and get your social. So he hacked Nipsey Hussle everything. So they sent him to go hack Nipsey Hussle, and I'm displaying all type of stuff, bro. To where it's like, bro, you know, you just gotta understand and recognize when it's a person that really is envious of somebody else, and you got to know how to test their spirit, even though they might be teaching some good information. So right now, y'all, just earlier, I went back, I listened to what Mr. Gillespie was saying earlier. I actually learned a thing or two. I'm not mad that I learned a thing or two. I'm not mad at him. What I'm upset with is he allow himself every day to get up, every day, y'all, and do and say the things he say and act the way he do. And that's a dang shame. And then say that he represented my Lord and my Father. There's no way, bro. You can't do that, bro. Don't do that. Not like that, bro. That ain't how we get down around here, bro. That makes me upset, my boy. And when next time when I get better, because I found a good way to read, like, so I'm going to the KJV, but it'll be a way to where we can go back and look at this, and it'll be the KJV next to, I believe, like the Berean translation next to the Hebrew translation, or like the Strong Concordance. So I can get 4 or 5 translations led right next to each other, and we're gonna learn, y'all. We're gonna learn at a high level because y'all got to teach our kids. You know, our firstborns went into the law, so I'm just trying to do things that I got to play catch up with, and I'm doing it by myself. Because Mr. Gillespie, after all the money I spent with Mr. Gillespie to say, bro, to charge you up. I just tried to maybe sometime let you know, hey, Mr. Gillespie, check your phone. This is my 4th time you done blocked me in less than a week. And every time I'm just trying to show you one thing that you go talk about in 3 to 4 weeks and act like I'm retarded. You never gonna say, hey, Rico, taught me, not taught me this. He put this in my face, y'all, and finally somebody else, brought it up, and now it makes sense to him, and now he gonna just get back. And when Rico say something else about it, that I'm trying to say, hey, Mr. Gillespie, that stuff that I showed you about 3 weeks ago, it kind of tied into this, and I'm just surprised you brought this up because I was just looking at this 2 days ago, and it didn't make sense to me, but I was just kind of waiting on God to show me. But you brought it up today, and it's crazy, bro. Let's talk. And no, he don't do that, bro. He go into his ego and he say, hey, man, Rico is what he said. Man, it is what it is, family. So it says in this Bible gateway, it says, let's get down to it. It say, Isaiah 46, 9-10. Remember the former things of old, for I am God, and there is none else. I am God, and there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning. So I'm telling y'all, if we go read this in Hebrew, the letters, understand that if we go read Genesis 1:1, if we put the Thomas name and we put Adam name and we put the George name in whichever way we need to find it, because George's name will probably be in the Aramaic. So I found it today. It's in the Greek and the Aramaic. So Jesus spoke Greek and Aramaic, and know that it's just, and he had to write in Aramaic and Greek. So he will write, because Aramaic is the Hebrew. So Hebrew is 99% part of the Bible. No, they said the Bible is written in 99% Hebrew and then 1% Aramaic. But to me, it's like, I thought of it like this. I was like, dang, when I look at the base form of Aramaic or the Aramaic letters, it looked like you would add the extra marks of the Aramaic letters to get the Hebrew letters. But now that I understand that you only need the 22 letters of the original Hebrew to make everything in the world, anything in existence. So if they want to recreate, say like, okay, we think if God was the Big Bang and we want to create the Big Bang Theory, well, we know we found it in what they would call a syntax grammar. So they had to look at language in a number format, in a scientific bio, and what they like to call it, astro. So they like to put the astro on it. So that means they're going into the astro plane of BS. You know what I'm saying? So besides God saying astronomy, which I believe is a good thing, it's not too many astros you want to go into. Just like when it comes down to trans, it's not too much trans you want to go to, except for you might want to translate a language on, because God say translate the language on it, but you don't want to go into a transmutation or a trans sending unless, again, God is saying it's the right kind. Some stuff you just don't go do, like trans Baphomet, and you don't go do you don't do faulty transactions, but you can have a good transaction. So I'm just trying to say things in a way to where, some stuff can be used for good and some can be used for bad, to where you got to use it only for good. And then some stuff you just go throw it in the lake of fire. It ain't to be, man, I don't want to even think about it ever again, my father. So he said he declared the end from the beginning. So he did this in Genesis 1:1. So when we read Genesis 1:1 in the Hebrew, God saying in the Bible that Jesus, by his own will, is being sacrificed on the cross. So even though Jesus was slew on a tree or hung on a tree, it's to say that when you think about the cross, understand that the cross is like him sacrificing himself to bring the cross between the celestial body, which is God's first son, which is Jesus Christ, and the other angels. And then it's going to be the second angels, Adam and Eve. And then it's going to be with the Father, the trifecta, the 1, 2, and 3, the olive and the tar, the T-row, being able to let every individual. So as y'all listening to me, each one of y'all can be the P and the G of y'all own existence. And that's what will make y'all the let me get up to it right here. This will make you get to go into the realm of God. You hear me? That you will be able to understand the universal principles of God. That's what I'm trying to change right now. Literally, everything I do and get up every day is to say that I hope my words and my very text, the pictures that I show is actually changing the fabric of the society of the full world. I know it's changing the world around me in the smaller level because I understand this circle and this hollow format in many different ways. Let me say it like that, family. I can tell y'all, I can see it just like the Matrix pretty much right now. I'm saying as I'm looking at my screen, I don't see numbers jumping up and down my screen but I'm saying, like, if I want to jump into different ways of understanding things in life, and one thing I can do that and keep it all into God to say I didn't pull no ego out of it. So understand, if you look at King James, look at that ball he got in his hand. It got the cross on top, but it also got the spherical shape below it. What he's saying is I got the whole world in my hands because this is a representation of the Ark of the Covenant. What also he has in his hand, the scepter. He has Aaron's rod in his hands. He also saying like, okay, you know, I am the king right now representing the Most High. So, you know, he would translate the Bible out of Greek and Latin, not because it was bad, but it's because it's for prophetic times that the people who will be going into this new Roman, new England, United Kingdom, the new what's what I'm looking for? 50 nations, United States, everybody against one thing is to say that what's what I'm looking for? That they're gonna be, it's gonna be so prophetic to them that when they look back, they're gonna be able to tie it all from A to Z, from the beginning to the end, because God did what again, y'all? Let's bring it down. He declared the end from the beginning, y'all, and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand and I will do all my pleasure. So, man, it's just so much more that you can understand. Like, it's saying a lot in just the King James English. Then when you go to the 1828, but it's to say, even when you go to the Hebrew, way more. So let me tell you this. So say we definitely go keep all the English and the Hebrew. I mean, in the 1828, all that. I didn't say get rid of that. What I'm saying is the Hebrew gives way more context, and you can say, you can look at one sentence or one word. So if you look at it in Hebrew or whatever, it can have multiple meanings. That's what the theology of God is about, is to not take it outside of your own meaning, but let the Spirit of the Most High give you the greater understanding of what is to be said in the text, because you are truly from the language, family. You are not remixing language. So, you know, God's true people, just like I can speak plain English, I'm going to say, God is the Father. He stands alone. None is to the left or the right. He is the Aleph of the Tav, the Alpha and Omega. He's the only one being able to, if he stopped thinking for a brief second, it would all end. Not even just it being a chaos. It'll be nothing. Oblivion. And so I can say, and then Jesus Christ is the Son. You're not to worship and praise him. You are to give him thanks for his great sacrifice, and you are to ask in his name. And then Adam and Eve, God said, I gave things greater to Adam and Eve than I gave to my son. So angels look up to Adam and Eve. That's why I would see why Jesus Christ would get jealous, and why he doing the thing in the garden, and why he was there as the word creating everything. And then when he's like, well, God, you making my little brother, man, I think I can do it better than you, Father. I feel it, man, you know, and that's how that went. You know what I'm saying? So it's to say, like, you know, y'all got to understand that when you're not able to think at that level, and you haven't been able to get the extra information God has put in many ways, then you get stuck at a level, yo. And so that's why I'm just blessed to say I had that dude that was doing the election with the he putting out the affidavit to get the counts revoted. So this is the first time in American history, right, in Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, that they did an audit with the votes. I'm right next to the dude, learning from the dude how he doing this. How can we stand for our rights? What is the difference between public and private law? And this, so everything that Carol was showing, it came to David Straight. And you know who brought that to Carol? RICO, y'all. RICO brought so much to Carol. But like I say, he either let the ego go or whatever. It don't matter to me. I don't care. I know the people. I know at that appointed time, I'm gonna show it with the army so we can destroy this, destroy that one, get him up out of here, that one up out of here, Tahuti, all of them. They gotta go for my Lord, for my God. They gotta go, family. Everybody must go. That for sure. Anything you against it, you against any anything my father said that was righteous and that was good, the demise, family, the oblivion, abysmal, is what I feel about. If that's the right word, I feel like these people is abysmal, family. If that's the right word I'm using. So again, bro, it's next levels with this, and so we to get over here and listen to Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and we gonna end the night, and then what we'll do is at the beginning for all my people that want to learn and really understand what we're going to at this next level. Then and this is what's important. So this picture right here, stop this picture, zoom in on this picture, read this picture. This is an important picture. It hurts my heart because St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, what if my forefathers, the Thomases, was over the Virgin Islands, and anybody that came to work on the islands, because the islands might have been like the outskirts to where it was like, you know, your prisoners work on the islands. You can't come to the mainlands unless you clean yourself up. But at the islands, and they killed my forefathers just to get, you know, into the islands and get into Panama Canal. Y'all not understanding this from the level that Rico's saying it. You know what I'm saying? So again, I understand because Mr. Gillespie was able to help me start saying about this at another level. Mr. Gillespie is the one that brought me to say, okay, you got to look further and deeper in within yourself to start understanding what you're going on. Don't go chasing nobody. Don't go chasing nothing outside yourself, because you are everything outside the world, because God is everything. So show yourself approved by making good fruits with your labor. Showing yourself approved by good works, not by works of Diddy and them. No Diddy, no freaky meals. You know what I'm saying? No works of the mob, the Khazarian mafia, the Hittites, man. These people who have come out of Czechoslovakia and out of the Russia. That's why I appreciate Vladimir Putin, because I realized the relationship between him and Donald Trump now, and just everything about this prophetic stuff, bro. So when I'm touching in on the music and everything I can talk about the Warburgs and the Rothschilds and the what it come down, who this I want to leave out, Warburgs, Rothschilds, the Medici family, and how, I mean, I could touch in so much stuff on just the music and how say God's word created sound, it created light, created matter, atoms, molecules. Well, the most important thing when they came, they said we got to get the agriculture, we got to get the law, and we got to get the sound. The sound to make the movies is going to make the books and all. So they had to get the music. The reason why Warner Company, Universal, and Sony is really like the Trident, everything got a trifecta to it, because they took from God. So everything has like a three type of entity to it, to where it's like, this is the way we control it. So understand that the three-headed beast of the music industry is really all headed by one individual right now. To say the one individual name was Edgar, his name is Edgar Brofman, I believe. So Edgar Brofman signed Rock Nation under Warner Chappell. Warner Chappell is was bought out by Edgar Brofman for $11 billion, because he bought out Polygram. And when he bought out Polygram, he bought out Universal Music Group, he bought out Sony Records, and he bought out Warner Records. So one person took all three entities and he owns them to this very day. So at the beginning of the day, he also owns the Seagram's Liquor Company. So do you know what the Seagram's Liquor Company do? Ciroc, Douce. Do you know why Ciroc and Douce trying to get away from Puff Daddy and Jay-Z? Because they the ones that definitely putting the drugs into the liquor, because they are the cartel. They are the Russian mafia. They are the ones that set up NIP, y'all. I'm going to teach it at another level, but it's like, me and Professor could have been teaching this. He talking about he want to ride for NIP. I'm riding for Pac, NIP, Pimp C. Man, real, man, it's real, bro. Do you see this? Do you see why Nipsey hands like, bro, it's not for play, bro. I know why they sold out, bro. Not Nipsey, but I know where they got my boy. I know why they had to take him down. I can hear it in the spirit of his heart where he's saying, well, dang, bro, in 2008, I first got in the music industry and I signed the deal, dang, in 2008. I come back and I'm dang near kind of coming out of it when Atlantic in 2014, Jay-Z buying my first record deal. They putting all these people around me. I'm kind of not really seeing the setup, but I'm seeing it. And I'm like, bro, I'm doing my stuff on my own. I don't want nobody around me. I'm good. But he ended up getting still sold out 2017, 2018. And you can just see the whole setup at another level when you're being taught correctly. Like I say, y'all hearing everything I taught y'all just in this one video, y'all can go make money off of it. You can build your life on it. Take everything Rico's saying, bro. It's not me. This is my father's words. It's just you hearing my perspective from it on a few things that I'm able to teach about distinctively. That's about me. But anything that y'all can say, when I go back to this last, how long I've been live, hour and a half of Rico, and I can tell that Rico put himself to the side, and then he just let God use him, and he was a threshing tool of the Most High, and he just allowed himself to be used by God. Then I definitely take that information, and anything outside, if he had ego, I'm gonna leave that where it said no ego. I don't care about the ego. I just want the information Rico able to give, Kevro able to give. But me myself, I got my own relationship with God. I'm talking third person right now, y'all. So don't you know what's the word? I don't want to lose y'all. So you know, I got my own relationship. So if I get Rico information and test the information, and I get some of the Hebrew, and I get some of that, and I get some of that, I'm still staying with just God, family. I'm not moving off this stone, family. I'm not moving off this foundation to the left or to the right. Rico never moved, y'all. So right now, Kev looked like to me the representation of this. He really represented Hermes and Thoth himself. And it's like, bro, you got all the information you can need to say you can make it easy for the people to better help you. But you decide to take the information, hold it from everybody. You got people paying $10, $20, $50 on your Patreon. And you know why I don't support the Patreon? Because it's like the one time I got on Discord, before all the little crazy stuff happened, I believe, I came in and I tried to add a few people because I'm like, okay, the way all this stuff is new to me, y'all. I'm just taking this stuff one day at a time with my father saying, God, all I want to do is just fight, link around the real people. The real gonna link while the fake sink. So I'm just thinking Mr. Gillespie, a good person. He patient, he cool. I'm not knowing none of that when Mr. Gillespie did at that day. For the next 4 years, he ain't stopped doing it, y'all. I bought a $40, I sent him $40 for a Cairo sweater. And matter of fact, you know, it hurt my heart because the first day I called the man, he clowned me. The first day, y'all, I'm trying to provide for me and my little female that I'm doing wrong by, but I'm just trying to stand by God and say, God, I want to be a better man. I've been calling out to be a better man since before knowing what being a better man is about, but never knowing what it was about because I've been led by Lil Wayne to say, I wish I could for every girl in the world. I wish so I'm seeing DMX getting, you know, bopped by a little female that's 16 and 17. And it's like, bro, all this little stuff, the way their business practices, the way they treat the women, they hit they on the women, all this is being pumped in our society each and every day we wake up. And it's like, well, God, where you at? Well, I can't hear you. I don't know what's going on. And like I say, when I did start hearing them, I just wanted to start listening and start building. And so it's like Mr. Gillespie is cool and I respect him at the beginning of the day for doing the things he did for me, but he definitely dropped the ball as a man looking out for his brother and helping him to be able to stand up and stand right on his own square and understanding how to be able to go outside the square because that's what it is. Mr. Gillespie then boxed himself in, but God is a circle, family. Not a circle in the sense to where he's a literal circle, but understanding his whole principle is built off of sound, surround, eternal, forever, infinity. You understand what I'm saying? That's what he built off of. So it's just like even more so it's like, you know, man, I'm just blessed, bro, to say, you know, through it all, I've been a true, genuine person through my mistakes, through my trials. I've gotten better to where I try to pass my trials with flying colors so I don't go into tribulations. I try to teach people. I try to be prophetic without even being prophetic to say, hey, yo, I'm not even trying to say this gonna go happen. I'm just trying to say, hey, this might could happen because, you know, this is what I done learned in life. And but this is really prophecy. But God say don't prophesy unless 1 or 2 or 3 more prophesy with you, let alone you be really a charlatan and a heretic, a Pharisee, and what's that other one? You know, the other one, and a heresy, let alone the other one is to say you not supposed to speak in tongues at all. God, I believe, said you're not supposed to be speaking in tongues at all. So let's listen to my boy the evil FDR, and we're gonna look at that again. So again, Elohim, Bereshit bara Elohim. I can really read this without even, bro. I only heard him say it once and twice. Is that God is really giving me the download every day to where a lot of this stuff in just a little while, y'all, I'm gonna be able to count the numbers without the numbers even being there. I'm gonna remember that the letter is the male, the J. I remember that okay, this is the ox. This means covenant. I mean, no, this means ox. It means strength. It means leader. It means alpha. Also in the Greek, they made it let it look like this. So if I want to draw it, like it's so many things I can do because I'm staying with God, bro. So I can always tap into this vast house of information. But I had stuff happen to me to where it was hard for me to get to even let me say this, not just a sound mind. I had a sound mind, but to get to a point to where I can balance my mind. So it was like things was happening to where it was hard for me to be able to balance my mind to where I can be able to now that my mind is balanced, now I'm able to put all my books on the bookshelf. I can put my food recipes over here. I can put this how you love your ladies. Oh, this was your R&B playlist, and then you mix it in with some of the so if you want to send a female a little playlist of music, but you want to put some scripture in there, you want to teach her how to sing, and then you want to show something about how a child, I can know how to string all of this together. Say, hey, baby girl, I put an R&B song because somebody be like, hey, this not of God, and I'm like, bro, this is of God. I can tell you right now, my father said he approved of one thing, he gonna approve of this R&B song. He gonna say that this was the cool shirt. He gonna like this movie. He gonna say, hey, son, that's the way that you go out there and lay a can of whoop air down on him. And so again, y'all like to talk what y'all talk, but y'all don't really know the father, family. So let's go here and down, listen to Franklin D. Roosevelt and how he saw this act. Let's go to it.
As the Congress may build out of its experience and wisdom, I shall seek within my constitutional authority to bring to speedy adoption.
To a speedy what? Wasn't we adopted? Ain't we wards of the state? Ain't we black? Civil little mortis? You hear me? Stuck in the temporal loop. So I know professor can say it how he want to say it and do what he want to do it, and how that's cool. We're gonna go do it how I do it, and I'm gonna stay true to it. But understand, we were adopted. He put to say a couple of things within this 2 minutes, and then we're gonna go to the first 5 minutes, and I'm probably because he said something that was important to me, and I want to let y'all hear that too.
In the event that the Congress shall fail to take one of these two courses, in the event that the national emergency is still critical,
what you gonna do?
I shall not evade the clear course of duty
What you gonna
that
do?
will then confront me. I shall ask the Congress for the one remaining instrument to meet the crisis.
What's that, big bro? He said a crisis. What's the crisis, big bro? What's going on? Is we got an invading army? Is it a flood? Another flood from down the middle of America, from left to right this time? Is it from east to west this time? From LA all the way to New York? Is it a flood? What was going on?
Executive power.
Broad executive
to
power.
wage a war against the emergency.
Oh, wage a war on who? What's the emergency? Hold on, let's listen.
Executive power to wage a war against the emergency, as great as the power that would be given to me if we were in fact invaded by a foreign foe.
Why he said, in fact, if we were invaded by a foreign foe? If you need enough power to go to war against somebody that you said that in fact they might be in a foreign foe, well, if they're not foreign, what are they? What's the opposite of foreign, y'all? Like my boy Kev say, can we drop it in the chat? Can I get y'all to call it in for me right now? Because he had a horrible display of students today. And I don't mean to bring down the students, but it's just sad that they can get up there and say, yeah, RICO is crazy. He trying to steal from you. He trying to do, and when they call in, they can't string no information along. And guess what? Even before they might string some information along, guess what's already happening before they can string the information along? Da-na-na, da-na-na. Let me get to it. Ego, family. It's all Caro, all ego, all Leo. You can't show even what God told you what you need to know. So even if God told you to get it out to the people, Kel go say, hey, it's St. George around here, man. Pray to George, man. Pray to God. But God, my father, and I believe, but hey, man, look, I ain't got nothing here. I was talking about this the other day, calling that one. I was like, bro, these people praise you, sending all this money while you counting good people. And then when they call in, just to even probably try to maybe spark your imagination to probably think about something that you maybe already know, but maybe learn something more about because somebody being able to bring it from their perspective. So you saying you want the people to time travel, but you don't want to teach them to time travel. You want the people to learn, but you don't want to give them the information on your Patreon. So you got people paying $20, $30. Bruh, I paid. I supported. I didn't pay for nada. I supported the Patreon twice, maybe $20, $30. I forgot how much I paid. I might have paid 2 times $30, y'all, on the Patreon. I really just sent the man about $300. The man ain't sent me a dime. Nothing but bad words of currency. That's his energy. Besides the little few things I was able to learn, his energy and currency sprint towards RICO came straight out of ego. It is what it is. So if you want to hit the Cash App, that's my only support. Money sign RICOSGOLD1. Because God is the only one. And while we do this, we go have fun and know that Jesus Christ is the Son. Not in the sky, but he is the one up high, but below the Father. You feel me? The one worthy of not acceptance, because we got to accept Christ for sure. So he is worthy of our acceptance, but he's more worthy of us to lay down our life. If our big brother laid down his life for his mistakes and his little brother's mistakes, then why no more so we lay down our life? You know what I'm saying? So I'm just to that point to where, yeah, man, I had to go get the trust from my father and understanding that at the highest level of law is where you get into what. So he's talking about the executive. Well, we at the ecclesiastical right now. So let's listen to him, bring it up at the front, because he go, I'm gonna let him talk.
For the trust reposed in me, I will return the courage and the devotion that befit the time. I can do no less.
Okay, now. So let's get back over to this other part. Let's get to the beginning real quick. Matter of fact, I'm just for the scrub it to the beginning. We ain't gotta do that. We keep it right here. Keep it POG. Let's listen. So again, y'all, it was 150 in Dallas. Every world's fab, we know it's 60 million. So if y'all came over from Caro, we already know a lot of stuff because we came over from Caro. Main thing RICO can do is just take it a little further in different aspects of different subjects. Not saying that Mr. Gillespie can't do it within the same subject. It's to say we're supposed to be coming together. It's supposed to be a house debate. So when you get to the aleph and the bet, the alphabet is built off the. We say alphabet because we say aleph bet, which is the Hebrew, but we saying it in the English. So the A and the B, the first letter and the second letter of the Hebrew is the aleph and the bet. Bet is a house. It represents a house, a tent. So we supposed to be the house of our Father, the body of Christ. God is the head. This is supposed to be a house, but if my brother in Christ don't know how to, you know what I'm saying, then what? How much more can we get our women ready to be the back to church? How much can we be ready to bring the church back to the state if the brother don't want to be able to build with his brother? If the brother want to get up and tear down his brother who really getting up every day trying to build and heal everybody besides himself. I get up every day and I need my little minor little things. I don't ask for much, y'all, at all. I'm very humble, very, very meek, very lowly servant.
We begin with Franklin Delano Roosevelt's first inauguration.
No, ain't this looking like world fast right here? We know how they go. Hey, matter of fact, and after this, y'all, we got one more video because I do need to teach about Moloch and Baal because this is the main reason why I'm showing this because Franklin Delano Roosevelt and what Kev just showed about Ayin and how this goes back to Incan and Lil and Anunnaki and the fallen angels mixing in with, okay, so Kev always bring up the Canaanites, but understand it's Cain. Cain has a lineage. Cain killed Abel. He has a lineage of family. Adam's sons from Seth on down to Noah stayed on a mountain until Noah was getting ready to build the boat, probably 150 years before Noah. So I believe our forefather, well, my forefather, I'm not sure who y'all forefathers is, but my forefather, Methuselah, was alive before Noah built the ark. And when Methuselah died, that's when God, I think Methuselah was the last one of my forefathers that was older, at the older level. So saying he like 600. So he was one of the greater forefathers that was on the cave of treasures that was separated from the rest of the world. So think about Jack and the Beanstalk and why they would always want it. They was always trying to get Adam and them to come down off this big great mountain that God say, don't go down there with Cain because I'm gonna let Cain have the rest of the world. And so he sent Cain off into, I believe, the east or something, further into the east or whatever. And so Cain went into the world. And Adam and them stayed up in this mountain. And then right when it came to the days of Noah, right before the flood, it was like the children of Adam went and mixed down with the daughters and the sons of Cain. That's going down with the sons of God. That would be the sons of Adam mixing down with the sons of man. So where it's like, that's that big mix right there. But again, Noah was a separate lineage. He took Shem, but again, it's Shem, Ham, and Japheth. So Shem and Japheth have their own lineage. Japheth, I believe, will be more of a light-skinned fella, knowing that if Enoch was kind of light-skinned a little bit or could have been white as snow or whatever, well, I believe Japheth, because Japheth got an inheritance of just cold land. So I think that Japheth come from like the Caucasus Mountains, the northern region of the world to where, you know, it's snowy, it's cold. Ham got the but this was after they did what they did to Noah to where they got cursed. Shem got the blessing of the hot and cold land, and everything was going to be good for him. And God said, y'all don't mix lands up, and y'all would be cursed. And Ham got the hot lands. Ham's sons' first cities they created was I think Mizraim or Mitzvah. I know Cush for sure. So when you think about Egypt and all that, that comes from the line of Ham. Japheth, he created Sodom and Gomorrah. And then Shem got the city of Nineveh. So when it comes down to that solar eclipse and the solar eclipse of 2023, because it's one in 2017, it was one in 2023, and my fault, the one in 2024. So the one in 2024, it just went through 11 cities named Nineveh, starting somewhere through New York, all the way down through San Antonio, Texas. It was cities called Nineveh. This is Shem's lineage. So this is the good lineage, y'all. Getting the birthright. So it's just like, you know, I could teach things at the next level to say, bro, it's just crazy. And the dude that I showed him yesterday, I say, I went and listened to Abraham overcoming Babylon. I didn't listen to that first dude he brought up, But because Kev do all that plan and all of that, he won't even let a brother say, hey, bro, this is where I got the information from. If you want to learn, this is direct, you know, and even more so to say, this is how I thought about it when I looked at it. And this is what I felt about with God. So it's like, I didn't learn this about the thing about what I just said about Nineveh and how to put it with Shem and how Shem's son started the first city and called it Nineveh. That's a mark and a sign that God's saying, all my children of Shem, who would eventually become the sons of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that will eventually become the sons of Joseph, Gad, man, do y'all hear what I'm saying? So if you were able to look and see that I'm highlighting your forefathers' land that they was blessed with, do you hear what I'm saying? Man, it's like, bro, people go deny what they deny, and it is what it is. But the true and the chosen and the anointed, they ain't got to do nothing but show what is of Christ, that is of the fathers, and it is theirs too. Because what is theirs is Adam's and it's Eve's. So for as long as they keep God and Christ in their heart, family, and in their spirit and on their mind and bringing it to the physical. So that's all I do. So let's continue listening. Oh, and the reason why I say again, because Franklin D. Roosevelt, he fit to be POTUS, he fit to turn into he fit to turn into Shiva, Brahmana, Krishna, Moloch, Baphomet. He fit to take the great sacrifice of Baal and Moloch, and he fit to take that oath, and I think this either after they hit the lick, or this all going on at the same time, they saying that we fit to go to war, we fit to do the coup d'etat. So I'm not sure which one, because in 4 minutes, and I'm not gonna listen to the whole 4 minutes. We're gonna listen to the next 4 minutes at the end. I'm gonna let him say what he gonna say for like the first minute and a half, but in the 5 minutes, I'm gonna skip down to it. He gonna say, we are tired of going and observing their ceremonies, which means if we observe the Passover, if we observe the first day of the feast, to say, okay, not that we would have been out there on the Black Sun celebrating the Black Sun, we would have been like, okay, this is the first day of the revolution of the year. So we know this is the first day of the year, first month. And if Jesus Christ really born either August 21st or he born April 1st, we're going to have a Passover. It's going to be a feast day. And then we're going to have a first harvest day, because God taught us in the Hebrew Bible that's translated in the King James Version. So you can read it clear in King James. He going to say at the revolution of every year, it's going to be from 70 weeks from the first day of the first month of the first of the year. You're going to be able to count certain things that's going to happen every day from the beginning of time when I laid down the foundation of the earth. Come on now, y'all. So if this still happening, if it was happening in the beginning with Adam and it's happening now, so again, when Mr. Gillespie said that when the eclipse happened, it just set it back to Judgment Day and God's time. We on God's time right now, y'all. Everybody that's believing in the time, like I still know to look at the time. Okay, it's 2 o'clock, whatever. They saying it's the 21st, blah, blah, blah. But I'm knowing right now, it's only still the first month of the year in God's time. So it'll take me some time to recreate what I need to think and see it in my time to see it at another level. But that's why I would need the Hebrew. I'm gonna have to look in the Aramaic and this one in the Greek and see what Jesus and people that was really our family members really said, like how George Gillespie knew about real law. So you know what the main thing God say, you got to put things on the record 3 times. So when you go to your somebody as a witness, you need a witness 3 times. Or when you want to come to somebody and say, hey, you doing a bad thing, you come to them 3 times, bro. And so you know, bro, I'm losing what I'm about to say, and if it'll come back to me. But so I knew whatever I'm talking about, I had to do this in 3 times or whatever. And so it was like just things I was able to read and understand to where it was like, man, God, you just made it easy for me to understand law at another level. And so yeah, going back into the law. So that's why I was just leaving out of to where I understood that, okay, now if I really want to understand the law to free my people, I got to be able to see it from out of time immemorial. I need to understand. So if I can see, first of all, if Afro-Americans can get to the real day that they said we blew the first town up and we did this. So we got Wilmington 1898. We got this date, but it's all over the place. We still don't know what, even if Wilmington 1898 was the real first date, if there was really just them writing some stuff and trying to throw us off on time, Mr. Gillespie would say, hey, y'all, you know, is this, which like I say, they got it written in law too. I'm sure they might got it written on a documented paper or whatever. Blah, blah, blah. I hope so. Besides just like a, you know, newsreel or whatever, blah, blah, blah. but it's to say that at the beginning of the day, that's what's going to help us to show ourselves approved, to say, well, the only way we might have understood this is because, again, that's why in 1933, Hitler and whoever was in charge, they destroyed all the different books of different languages that was in America. They would have said, this what y'all knew before. Everybody knew this before the Great War. All nations. But when all nations turned against thee, when you go read in the book of Baruch, and when you read Psalms 83, that we cut thee from being off of as a nation, and when you read Deuteronomy 28, that y'all went into all the curses that God said y'all was going to go into because y'all turned and not hearken to the word of our Father, then that's when it's like, okay, dang, all this makes so much sense now. And I got to know how to turn it on and get to it and really show myself approved and study and research at another level that I don't care what anybody got to say about me. You can't stop me from what I'm getting to. I'm going to get to it. No devil, no AI, no trans Baphomet, no Afro, no ego, no Taj Payton, ain't no B from Texas, ain't no none of them, ain't none of Shiva, B from Glory. Man, I like Miss what's my old lady name from Florida, Miss Deborah from Florida, because I can hear her voice change to where it's like she's people say what Joe Biden said, you can't be rehabilitated, man. Just and the Kev doing it still with a lot of ego. So imagine if Kev put his ego to the side 4 years ago, how much more would he have healed the people and built them up to where Kev really would have an army of almost 1 million people right now. Yeah, I'm telling y'all right now, if he had 1 or 2 good people and we knew the things that we knew now 4 years ago, man, me, Kev, and the people who really are not going against Kev, because I feel like it's people right now against Kev. I mean, over there teaching Kev stuff, but they only showing him stuff to boost his ego up. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that anybody that's sitting back in this chat right now, they know a little bit about the Hebrew and what the people of all the other cultures said about the Hebrew, and they called in and text Kev and say, hey, Kev, bro, you might want to go back and look at the Hebrew a little bit. I know what you said about RICO, and he might be trying to steal everything from you, bro. But, hey, bro, you my boy. As a female, hey, Kev, you know, just go back and listen to what now he trying to say. Just think about what go pray about it, Kev. Go, but nobody's saying that. You know what they doing? Supporting that ego like a mug. Woo! Woe to him. Woe to him, Lord. Now he's gonna start talking in 5 seconds.
Franklin Delano Roosevelt, do solemnly swear that you will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States. And
he just asked him in plain tone, do you swear and take an oath to Baal, Moloch, I am, Shiva, Brahma, every deity of the Kabbalah tree, this hidden knowledge of good and evil, the trans Baphomet, Dookie, the obelisk of phallic worship of the Caduceus going straight up. Your head is the Caduceus, the phallic going straight up the devil's head. I mean, behind, while the devil's head going up your behind, and therefore y'all would create the trans Baphomet Oros Boros. That's what he asked them, and what he's that's what he's saying. With it, and matter of fact, we're gonna listen to these next 4 minutes, and we're gonna let him talk it out. But this is what's going on. So listen as he enact this. So this was the first 4 minutes, and know at the end he asked for the war powers to go against the emergency. And what was the emergency, y'all? He took the gold. He made the people enemies of the state. So go watch the movie Will Smith and know that RICO is an enemy of the state right now. Mr. Gillespie is an enemy of the state. A lot of people is an enemy of the state, don't even know it, let alone different colors and nations of people. So I'm here to fight for the real, man. Let's get to it.
Will, to the best of your ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. So help you God. I, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States.
Every time they say execute, if you hear somebody saying execute at POTUS ever again, or ever they talk about execute Negro, I'm gonna execute the Jews, the Hebrews, the Israelites. Every chance I get, any law y'all put in front, any legality, because it ain't law, it's all legality. All of it is bylaws, codes, ordinances, policies, anything against the law. If you had to sign a legal, you had to get what they call it, not a contract, because a contract is good by law, but with a license. Anytime you had to get a license That was against law. You get licenses to do legal things, and anything that's legal is unlawful. So again, I knew this before Bro was saying anything and showing any video before he ever got to even understand anything about himself. RICO was already learning about the law, trying to find my father and my God and freedom, family, and for freedom for my people and my family. So I was already understanding you put stuff under trust law, but I didn't understand at the same time. I'm like, okay, well, God, I see these people saying who don't look like me, and they saying, and which I don't mind being, kicking it with these people, but it's like other stuff that they talking about that don't make sense to me because it don't sound like they're coming from you, my father. So again, God brought me a long way, y'all.
And will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. So help me God. President Hoover, Mr. Chief Justice.
Look at all these people, y'all.
Friend.
Now remember these top hats, because in 1933, these same hats at the Chicago Field in August 12th. So these hats is really mafia hats too. So I'm gonna teach you at another level, and I'm gonna really go tie specifically to either coming right from this certain type of Luffy D monkey. So if you like comics or anime manga, you know that Luffy D, Monkey D Luffy, your ultimate pirate, wears the hat that everybody was wearing when the destruction of the true jewels was going on. So they was wearing that little top hat looking thing. Y'all gonna see it in a second, but y'all know what I'm talking about. But they gonna have it in 1933 at the Chicago's World Fair at the Jewish Day. Everybody, man, it's crazy how it's crazy, bro. When you think about it, just how all this stuff is attached and how you can really see the destruction of our people now, how it all tie together. Professor stuck in allegory. He talking about, RICO, you going in the time of more allegory. You stuck in allegory, bro. I'm trying to show well, I ain't gonna say all the way in allegory, but let me say that. So when he shows stuff about POTUS and he shows stuff about that, that's why I don't stop about history. He stopped showing these videos about 1930, and I'm still there, family. I'm going into 1648. Matter of fact, if God really allowed me to show this, and if God say I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But if Jesus Christ was served up on a cross, a slew on the tree in 1540, in 1500, and God allows me to get this teaching correct, then RICO would be the first one to teach that they lied and hid it, that they sacrificed Jesus Christ in the 1500s. And then that's why King James and them was talking about everything they were talking about in George Gillespie about the Reformation and how they just came out of, just switched everything and came and did good. And just as much as we just did good and we all messed up and just did a bad thing by killing Jesus Christ, but now we're getting it back to say y'all messed up, but by Jesus Christ, by his blood, we are all being renewed. But right after that, y'all tripping again. But this ain't the first time Israel done did that. They did it at least 6 times, with us probably doing it another time right here in the 1900s or the 1800s, falling into maybe all about what the communism, the Marxism, socialism, nationalism of Bush. You know what I'm saying? So no telling what we fell into, but it's to say ain't nothing new under the sun, and you can see the revolutions, the repetitive cycles. And so now we really, again, setting that revolution on the right track right now. So that's why the music was important, why they had the when they bought out the music company, the tuning fork is the most important tool when it comes to sound. That frequencies is built, but your frequencies is your word. Like the way I write my text, the way I punctuate it, the way every emoji, down to the way I put my pitch, all that is frequencies, y'all, and coding and algorithms. So let's get to it. And law.
This is a day of national consecration. And I am certain that on this day, my fellow Americans expect that on my induction into the presidency, I will address them with a candor and a decision which the present situation of our people impels. This is preeminently the time to speak the truth, the whole truth, frankly and boldly.
Huh? What the hell was that?
Shrink.
Man, hold on, man. He just pulled him a Candace Mother Owens, y'all. Now, in the chat, man, if anybody's still in the chat, what are you supposed to say when you say, we're going to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the what? Can please somebody, I know somebody in this chat, family. What is the word? Man, that boy just, man, hell no, Lord. Let's run that back.
And to speak.
You know, he messed me up when he said, when he said frankly, I said, I ain't never heard nobody start it off like that when they say, and I'm going to tell the truth nothing but the frankly. I said, that ain't how it go. You're supposed to go into the, I'm going to tell the truth, nothing but the truth. Oh, I didn't already say that. I got to answer, but come on now, let's get to it. Man.
This is preeminently the time to speak the truth, the whole truth, frankly and boldly.
And nothing but the truth,
Nor need we shrink.
That's why
from honestly facing conditions in our country today. This great nation will endure as it has endured, will revive and will prosper. So first of all, let me assert my firm belief that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Nameless, unreasoning, unjustified terror.
Now, what he said, the only thing we got to fear is fear. That's a dang lie, bro. You're supposed to fear the Father. That's why they going to hell, bro. They bunch of cold talk. When you got really the God's word on your heart and your mind, your spirit, you hear through everything, family. What did he say? We got nothing to fear but fear itself. No, sir. The only thing you're supposed to fear is my Father, and then have no fear outside of that, you damn clown. Y'all going down.
Paralyzes needed effort to convert retreat into advance. In every dark hour of our national life, a leadership of frankness and of vigor has met with that understanding and support of the people themselves, which is essential to victory. And I am convinced that you will again give that support to leadership in these critical days. In such a spirit on my part and on yours, we face our common difficulties. They concern, thank God, only material things. Values have shrunk to fantastic levels. Taxes have risen. Our ability to pay has fallen. Government of all kinds is faced by serious curtailment of income. The means of exchange are frozen in the currents of trade. The withered leaves of industrial enterprise lie on every side. Farmers find no market for their produce, and the savings of many years in thousands of families are gone. More important, a host of unemployed citizens face the grim problem of existence.
1933, a
and
host
an
of what?
great number toil with little return. Only a foolish optimist can deny the dark realities of the moment. And yet our distress comes from no failure of substance. We are stricken by no plague of locusts compared with the perils which our forefathers conquered.
Come on now, what he said? Now, what did he just say, y'all? We are not stricken with no plague of locusts like our forefathers was. My forefathers wasn't stricken with locusts. Not Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, What? Not Joseph, and not Gad, not Simeon, not Judah, Benjamin. I can't recall a time where I heard the Hebrews, the Jews, and the Israelites being struck with a plague of locusts. Now we got our ass whooped a couple of times, but I ain't never heard the.
Because they believe we are stricken by no plague of locusts compared with the perils which our forefathers conquered.
So who is his forefathers? Who was stricken with the locusts, y'all? Wasn't it Egypt in the days of Moses? Let's get to it, man.
Because they
so who was their forefathers?
Believed and were not afraid.
Man, they Taborites and Hittites. We're gonna teach about that. You can't really find nothing on the Hittites and the Hittites. That's what I meant to say. The Hittites and the Hittites. You can find a little bit about it, but you ain't gonna be able to connect it the way I connect it until you connect it with a couple of other things, and then you can still connect it in your own way. But I'm saying, like, it is. That's why Kev helped me, because I'm gonna say this. Without Kev, it was certain things I would have never been able to connect without God being able to use Kev as a tool, and Kev allowing himself to be used. But now, in between, he allowed the devil to get in between. So he got to put the devil to the side, ego to the side, heal, build. Hopefully my brother heal, you know what I'm saying? So all my people that love Kev, bro, y'all help him get out his ego, y'all, and, humble himself. Because how could you go over there and teach Sinetta humbleness, but you not humble yourself?
We have still much to be thankful for. Nature still offers her bounty, and human efforts have multiplied it. Plenty is at our doorstep, but a generous use of it languishes in the very sight of the supply. Primarily, This is because the rulers of the exchange
Now listen,
of
listen.
mankind's
Your
good
foreign banks, your
have
bankers.
failed through their own stubbornness and their own incompetence,
Uh-huh.
have admitted their failure and have abdicated. Practices.
Now let me tell y'all this. What's crazy is Franklin Delano Roosevelt, when he go into being presidency, his banking advisor is a Warburg, I believe, and his other is either Warburg or Rothschild. So his banking advisor to the presidency is a Warburg or Rothschild family. I'm gonna repeat this again. Franklin Delano Roosevelt, during his presidency, the longest presidency ever of any president. Y'all hear me? His president, he had either a Warburg or Rothschild as his financial banker. We're going to get to it because RICO got a lot of teaching to do within these next couple of months. And I want y'all to be able to bear with me. And I want to be able to really break it down to y'all so y'all can teach y'all children, teach your husband, your wives, your mothers, and your fathers, y'all. It's time for us to come out of being black and African-American misnomers, turned against God, dead, lost at sea, wards, children of the state, minors, cut off from the law, and the Bar Association, to be barred from our own names. I can't even use my own name to get the things that's due to me and owed to me by me just even coming to this world, breathing in my first breath of fresh air to say I'm my father and my father's name is Emmy, let alone my family name and what they like. Man, come on now.
Of the unscrupulous money changers stand indicted in the court of public opinion, rejected by the hearts and minds of men. True, they have tried, but their efforts have been cast in the pattern of an outworn tradition. Faced by failure of credit, they have proposed only the lending of more money. Stripped of the lure of profit by which to induce our people to follow their false leadership, they have resorted to exhortation, pleading tearfully for restored confidence. They only know the rules of a generation of self-seekers. They have no vision. And when there is no vision, the people perish. Yes, the money changers have fled from their high seats in the temple of our civilization.
Now, look at, I'm going to tell y'all this too, though. Cold words, the temple, this one and that one. Understanding like what Cat Williams was saying about how, when he was bringing up like, yeah, the Anunnaki, man, why you think they used to be at these temples, bro? These, why they would be at these pyramids, bro? It's more like a temple. This is a place where you worship, but this also too, though, what we learned, the most important thing about law, that the church used to be where you would do what? Have law, family. This is where you had court, family. This is your probate court. This is your commercial law, your contract. You did it at the church house, family, because you know why? Church is the state. Do you understand me, y'all? So, of course, they're going to burn up the Bibles and all that and switch the law up and then put the White House as this and that one because, no, God's house is the White House. Y'all feel me what I'm understanding? So I could say he could be talking about, he really talking, first of all, he's talking about himself when he talk about the scrupulous money exchanges. But what if in 1933, right before 1933, y'all, what if it was all Afro-Americans, right? Doing a great job, letting these people get money to where they can look like this and do this when they come over here. And they say, hey, y'all, because let me tell y'all this, I live in Beaumont. I lived in Beaumont for a nice long time. If you don't go outside your house, you won't know what the hell going on outside that little world that you live in inside your house. Do you know how much people can be getting ready to do a coup d'etat, let alone create an atom bomb, or this one or that one or that one? You know what I'm saying? Do y'all hear what I'm saying? So this could have been going on. Negroes having coffee, getting the tobacco right, getting Louisiana right. My people could have been getting the Virgin Islands right. Talking about, yeah, we need the liquor, getting that right. We need those the sugar cane tree. Because look, that's why St. Thomas Island is important too. Because big liquor distribution, all type of stuff is going on, man. At these, it's a lot that going on when it comes to God's agriculture, from the Gillespie mountains of gold and all the minerals. And so, like I say, what if so I'm a St. Thomas. St. Thomas was actually one of the disciples of Jesus Christ at the time that Jesus Christ, like the real Jesus Christ, real St. Thomas was together, same time, doing and leading each other. Jesus Christ is being led by St. Thomas. Jesus Christ is leading St. Thomas, and then St. Thomas end up doing greater things after, you know what I'm saying? So that's my forefather. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, I don't know what these people on right now in this world, but they got it confused, and they think confusement and amusement don't add up when it come down to you trying to fight for God. If you fight for God, you put the amusement and the confusement to the side, family. I mean, you separate them. You're supposed to be able to amuse and do it in a good way and lead the people into truth. Not tell them like, oh yeah, he the devil, this one and that one, and he this one, and I'm really a good person. And then you taking away from the truth that God trying to show the people. So what if God really was trying to tell? If God came back and said, hey, Kel, go tell the people that this is a little sign. That's it, just a sign, bro. And you still get on them that y'all out there tripping, y'all worshiping this. That's why y'all putting your periods off right now. Do all that too, son. But tell them it's a mark and a sign. Get their minds right and teach them about the 70 weeks and this one and that one, and just get them ready. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that what, and then, but what if that don't happen because y'all tripping and God say, hey, you know what? I put it in the Bible, but I decided I want to stretch it out because my father can do whatever. That's how you teach, not the way the professor teach. It's all right. I'm not saying he don't got it good, but it's 10 for that little ego is like the real the cornerstone of Jesus Christ and God is like he got that little crack right in his arm, that little chink. So it'll make his whole foundation crumble. That ego. And I see the people in this chat room and the people that's spending money with him and saying they got good ideas and trying to be his brother. Like I feel like they pumping him up. He just said it today. And as soon as he said it, it was like God was talking to me to saying they doing it to him right now. He don't even know it. He don't even know that they pumping him up to run himself right off the cliff and to tear down. And it's like, man, I hope that ain't what it is, Father. I hope that Taj and B ain't these grand scheming. You know, already Taj, you know, he barely can call in. And I'm not saying he can't teach. I didn't learn some stuff from Taj. But that's because Taj didn't been in the darkness. Now, B from Texas, Ninja Turtle head looking at B from Texas definitely don't look like no Afro-American. He definitely looked like an Olmec for sure. Nose wide, head wide. He looked like a real representation of a Ninja Turtle. You take off the mask, and matter of fact, man, for sure. But that being said, is to say, I can see why B from Texas is able to teach, but only can go so far because his name might not have nothing to do with nothing. So again, when I tell y'all, it's martyrs that really died because they have the blood and the name of Christ in Jesus' name, I mean God's name in their family name. So they will have things that they able to wake up to and go look back at and saying, family, y'all did some next level shit. I'm finna ride. We're gonna ride for sure. And so it's gonna be different family members, St. James, the Saint this ones, the Saint that ones, and it's gonna be okay. Well, y'all might not have no saints in y'all family, but y'all was the chiefs. So y'all heard when I brought up the family MACTHOMAS, y'all might have been the Macs, but it's to say y'all was this y'all. Them other people claiming to be y'all ain't y'all. Because you know what? We can tell by phenotype, genotype, haplogroup. And we can tell in the spirit that they not us too. But also it's to say that the people that is us in the spirit, they might not all be blood to say son of Abraham, Isaac, but we are blood of Abraham, y'all. So it's like I don't lose no disconnect with none of my no. I don't care. Your family member 8 kids and did this to him yesterday, but you good. I'm with you, family, but we're going to take down your family member. You ready to ride? Let's get to it.
We may now restore that temple
Oh, my God.
to the ancient truth.
What's the ancient truth? Y'all the sons and daughters of Nimrod and Cain. We know it. Kev taught us.
The measure of that restoration lies in the extent to which we apply social values, more noble than mere monetary profit. Happiness lies not in the mere possession of money. It lies in the joy of achievement, in the thrill of creative effort, the joy and the moral stimulation of work. No longer must be forgotten in the mad chase of evanescent profit.
Come on. Hey, and I look, do y'all homework. Go look up at the word evanescent. You know why I looked it up? Because I knew that whatever he was saying, it was like, we tired of not being able to do the things we want to do. We want to go out and shake out on Instagram all day. We want to let our kids shake their, we want to put our kids up and get money off of them. We want to sacrifice the Baal and Moloch in so many different ways. We don't even know it. That's what Franklin Delano Roosevelt meant when he said evanescent. That's what they mean, y'all. So I remember because this was only about a month ago, but that's what I take my time to do. Through all the madness, with me not barely, like I say, to keep a roof over your head, food on your table, you can't get up and go to work every day and go work for them, that Moloch and Bull, the Baal. You know what I'm saying? You got to draw back. If you already had your money together, yeah, for sure. Let me say that. If you already got a roof over your head, this stable, you're able to do it in between time. If you trying to save, you coming from out the slums and you coming from, and you ain't got your shit together yet, but you saying I'm ready to fight for God to get this information, family, y'all, you're not making no money, y'all. Because people not fit to try to hire you to come to work 2-3 hours and then saying, okay, I might not come to work 2 days tomorrow because I'm ready to fight for my God and I got to do this and I got to make sure to be up for Care Bro early in the morning. And that's one. And then you saying, well, you know what? I don't want to renew my license today and I'm not filing taxes and I don't want to do that. So I need to be able to come and get work in the private to where I can get straight cash because I can't do self-contracting because I don't really got a skill in the trade right now. So I might need somebody to try to teach me something or whatever. Or I'm trying to learn something, but and it's just all these ways to say, I could have just went for the money, y'all, 4 years ago, a long time ago. I could have just went straight for the money. But I always just like in between time, I was like, bro, I don't even care to have money because if it's like the more I get money, I just do more fleshly, worldly things. So I just never went for the money like that. And then it was like also too, I wanted to know what is like my father doing, like what did he created all this for? Why am I here on this earth? Am I here to do with everything that they tell us in this world, or is it like how did we get here? What's in death? Everything that it was to be asked that we stopped asking, but we always still ask until our last breath. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of people that don't talk about it, for 10 years, 5 years, maybe 3 days, but they in between those whole times they don't talk about it verbally. They thinking about it. They might talk about it to themselves verbally, but they don't go talk to nobody else about it. They don't get no answers. They don't get to ask questions, but they get a lot of information and then they hold that as true. That's a whole mask within itself. So when Kev was showing the little bug head dude, it was like you can have that bug head and your head can look a little regular. You know what I'm saying? But I can feel your spirit and your presence and everything that you create, your fruits and your labor and your works. Or you can have a mask on. You don't have to have the COVID-19. Your mask can be not even on your face. It can be just you didn't put on 3, 4, 5 personalities. You really are split mind. You really got 20. You legion for sure.
Days, my friends, will be worth all they cost us if they teach us that our true destiny is not to be ministered unto.
What?
Teach us
Let me run that back. Let me see what so that's why I say too. This what made me look because he's mad right now. He said, y'all, we need the emergency powers because we want to do anything we want. We want to say if kids doing this art, if kids getting this one, but at the P. Diddy party with Jeffrey Epstein, this is art under Baal and Moloch and Ashtaroth and Beelzebub. This is art. And if we do that one, that's art. And this is fun. And this is the way you get money. And this is being what a man is about. Hey, and this is how you treat your chip. Bruh, that's disgustingness, nastiness, vileness, iniquity, hell on earth, and y'all going down into the abyss and the lake of fire.
Prophet.
Ain't no profit. Ain't no profit in sin and death, but oblivion.
My friends will be worth all they cost us if they teach us that our true destiny is not to be ministered unto, but to minister to ourselves, to our fellow men.
So again, understand why they got the Jews and the Hebrews up out of here. So y'all understand what ministering means and what it means to observe the law and to do this and observe the Passovers. They got tired of it, y'all, and they traded it in for Moloch, the original L, the big L. You know what I'm saying? So the Anunnaki and the Inky is one person that Kev and them ain't brought up. Yeah, I didn't have the one guard over the Anunnaki. Kev ain't brought them up yet. I've been having to do too much, y'all. So when I bring them up, the only reason why it's gonna make sense because it's gonna make most sense with the whole thing when it comes down to the Jews and the Hebrews and what happened, and then what happened to Nipsey Hussle and the hacking culture and this one, everything that I got homework on that I'm barely even able to bring up. It's like I done already had it for a long time and been saying, Mr. Gillespie, can we? I want to ask you a question, but because some don't make sense to me, so we can expound on it. Can we do this? Can we do that? And every time I would say, hey, bro, before I can even ask you anything, you already cussed me out and said all type of stuff in the back chat in the text message. Then you get on the phone, you get on your phone and you talk about me when you get on your live. And then when I call in, you better let me talk. But then you say, man, some way, somehow, Rico always catch up. I don't know how he do it. I do it by God, bro, and Jesus Christ, bro. That's it. By the strength of me just saying I'm chasing things that's true, bro. And I'm not trying to fall into BS, bro, at all, bro. I could have died a long time ago saying again, first of all, the same like in the suicide way, the way it's like, I don't care about this world. I don't care to be in the God. Take me up out of it some way, somehow, because this can't be real. This can't be life, bro. This shit is ugh. But then also to say, I would have laid down my life like Jesus Christ. Don't need to go on. Take me right now. If I can do it right now, nobody got to know. In my silence, take me now. I mean, in silence to where nobody know that I want to die. Nobody has to know that I'm ready to die right today. If God want to take my life right now, after this live, in between it, Lord, take my life and let the people's sins be redeemed. But I know I'm not that much of a, you know what I'm saying? I know I'm not my big brother, but I know I'm willing to give my and not be in the new world at all, bro. To not even know what the new world, oblivion, bro, to never be remembered again. Y'all won't even remember RICO gave the sacrifice. But I'm knowing y'all smiling, everlasting food, whatever the God created for heaven on the earth, y'all will have that. And RICO won't even have no parts in it. And I'm willing to do that for all the people that I'm knowing being hurt right now as we talking. All the children, all the kids. That, man, it hurt my heart, y'all. I be having to, I don't even want to go on the tangent on it because it's going to make me cry if I think about it and I really get to express myself. So I got to not wear my feelings on my sleeve because I'm constantly crying, but I'm happy, I'm laughing, but I'm whining to my father to say, Father, I'm a big baby. I'm a big kid and I want to be in your bosom because I want to be held by my father because, you know, love my father is the only thing that got me through all this, you know what I'm saying? So a real nigga know that a real nigga shed tears, but he have no fear, and no man, and no devil, and no demon. He only fear the Lord, the Most High, the Lord of Lords, not even Christ. He fear the Father of Christ. You hear me? The Aleph and the Tau, the Alpha and Omega. So let's listen to these fools. Let's listen to these fools and what they believe and what they fell into. And I'm gonna bring this into Martin Luther King and men-elect, and why I say this is a Jubilee year, and how I'm able to tie it in. So when Martin Luther King did what he did in 1965, something happened in 1865, right? And then some again tied with 1965, which had to do with specifically putting, what's the word I'm looking for? Law. And when we equate to the Dawes role, it would say putting us in a black dead status and giving everybody status to the world. So it happened in 1965, but it was actually enacted on the books 1975. What's 50 years from 1975, y'all? What's 50 years? So again, this is repetitive too, because in 1865 we had the emancipation, but in 1875 it was like 10 years from the Emancipation Proclamation. Go look on the Book of Laws. It didn't, the actual proclamation didn't enact until 10 years later. They went back and they had to do this, and it was like, okay, it's on the books. Now everybody can get to eat off this Emancipation Proclamation. Well, same thing happened with the signing of whatever Martin Luther King did or whatever. So it just, these things just make sense in my head, y'all. Because it's like God knew how to make things like it's sticking out. Like what they say, bold on the page or whatever. So it's a lot of stuff that I'm able to hear somebody talk. When I go to look at food, I'm looking in my cup. I'm doing this one. I'm walking through the grass. I don't want to step on the flowers. I don't want to step on the bees. As long as the wasp ain't sting me, live your life. Flies, bug, hey man, get on. Like, I don't care. I want my father to come here and get it clear. That's it. That's all. So know that they all serve really Moloch, the bull, the golden cow. So Enlil, all of them really is the representation of Moloch, y'all. So that's why Martin Luther King said, I sent y'all to a burning house, because I'm going to say this now. We're going to go into it. I'm bringing it up on the paper. MLK means men-elect. Men-elect means the king. MLK also means Moloch, which means Baal. MLK also means the great fire. So just off MLK, family, and I'm sure we're going to read MLK in the Hebrew, family. You know what I'm saying? So just off the MLK, we learned so much of it. But I'm telling y'all right now, if we went to that wiki and we just would have read it in English, we wouldn't have got none of that. I'm telling y'all the reason why they was able to learn that off of just 3 letters, MLK. You know why? Because they're getting it off the Hebrew. God's word, family. We wouldn't know nothing about how I just tied this with Moloch and Baal and then into whatever we can bring it to I am and Incan and Leah and the Anunnaki and Hermes, Trismegistus, and whatever we want to bring it to, any deity, Zeus, Poseidon, Odin, Osiris, Horus, Ma'at, everybody, family. But at the beginning of the day is to say that it's all based, this whole thing. That's why Jesus Christ is the word, and the Bible is the word. And God the Bible is God, the revelation of Jesus Christ is really the revealing of God, letting the world know I am real, my son is mine, And then even more so, why wouldn't Adam and Abraham and the true Jews in Israel, like St. Thomas, the St. Gillespie, the Georges, the St. Robinson, all the ones who I wrote my name on from the beginning of time, just like Jesus Christ. So it's just a blessing, bro. They can't stop at all. Like my boy say, can't stop, won't step. Not G baby George Rockefeller Records, and then Kev is Godfellow Records, baby. And so even when it comes to me, I just always give it back to God to where I don't like putting my name on nothing but what's really mine. So when I go how I got St. Thomas of like I made my YouTube channel, that's mine. But anything that I'm telling y'all I'm creating, like it's still not mine. So I'm telling you, my YouTube channel is mine for me to run. I created it, so I'm gonna use what, but it's still my father's. This still is like my father created me. All of this is his possession. This is actually the way my father's in my mouth. He's in my, all of this is God, but he's not this, but he's holding it together, but he is this. Well, let me not, he's everything, but he's holding it together. So his consciousness is in all this. That's why I say it's just crazy, bro, when you get down to the DNA and all that, bro. The atoms and the molecules, man, that stuff crazy.
Deities associated
God is
with
great.
Stars. The idolatry practiced by the Jews when they worshipped the golden calf at Sinai and the formal but unspiritual worship of God through sacrificial offerings in the wilderness ultimately led them to worship the star gods of the heathen. Because of this apostasy, God brought upon them the punishment of exile in Babylon.
Come on,
Yea, ye took up the tabernacle of Moloch, and the star of your god Remphan, figures which ye made to worship them, and I will carry you away beyond Babylon. Acts 7:43.
Stephen referred to the deities Moloch and Remphan, both associated with stars, during his defense before the Sanhedrin.
Amen.
Stephen likely quoted from the Greek Septuagint of Amos 5:26-27 to show that Israel was carried away into exile because they worshipped foreign gods, such as Remphan Greek, Raphan Hebrew, Kian. Moloch was the god of the Ammonites. Shamefully, the Israelites offered their...
Now let me pause it. Did God say, did we worship Hebrew? Or did we worship Moloch, family? Did God say, oh, y'all went to worship in Hebrew, the language, you worship the Hebrew language? Now, you can't worship language and make anything your God. I can make what this is on the screen, whatever. This little symbol in the sign right here. This is the way this look. I can make this, I can make a speck, a dot. I can make nothing my God, nothingness. Didn't Kev teach us about the nothingness? So, bruh, we can make anything, but it's only one true living, Most High. Let's get to it.
Their own children as sacrifices to Moloch. Hebrew, Kian. Moloch was the god of the Ammonites. Shamefully, the Israelites offered their own children as sacrifices to Moloch. The Hebrew form of this name is Molech. Some commentators suggest that the dead letter of the Hebrew word, Melech, meaning king, and the living letter, Bashet, shame, are combined to form the Hebrew word.
So again, it should be a damn shame. Now, I thought we was going to get to it. I forgot they did it within this one. Hey, y'all, Marcus Garvey, Haile Selassie, let me pull him up right here. Like Kev say, I actually got the pictures though, y'all. So hold on, let me go down. I got to go down. Haile Selassie. And who else was my last person that I for to bring up? It was one more, y'all. I got more. Oh, okay, Martin Luther King. All of them family are 5'3" and below. Probably 4'9", probably shorter than that. I got Haile Selassie standing so short. I say, man, he got to be a dork to be that short, family. Come on, family. There's no way he could be standing. And so even more, when you look at that king, Marcus Garvey, looking so flamboyant, so juicy. That boy looking real mighty juicy right down now on that little picture, family. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I can understand because what he is, he's the original, what it was, the socialist, the original, he liked the galas. He liked those galas. He liked going to those matrix. Oh, so that's why I say I stopped. I've been running, man, I'm really teaching today, y'all. So I didn't get to really touch on the Zoroastrian, Magi, matriarchal priesthood from the first 1,000 years that's called the Gala, G-A-L-A. So when they go into the Met Gala, the original priesthood of Magi who were trans-Baphomet and served Inca and Enlil and Baal and Moloch, they were called the Gala. That's who they were called. And they would, be in the middle of the streets of Babylon, in Acadia and Acadia and Mesopotamia and Samaria, and they would dance crazy and convulsions, the twerking and stuff like that, and all that good stuff, and doing all these little nasty stuff or whatever. Why, you know how they do, observing certain little whatever they want to get down on. And so again, that tied into what, like I said, how when I think about so the theosophy that they brought up with Madame Blavatsky and how it goes into who was the tied in with Madame Blavatsky. Dang, what was one of these other big? Okay, Antoine LaVey, Aleister Crowley, and then how when I think about Tesla. So let me tell you how this, bro. Okay, I learned about, I believe it was either Tesla or a Jewish person, a Jewish lawyer. I realize now. So think about the movie Harry Potter, y'all. I realize now, before the Great War, they was really practicing magic and this one and that on some Harry Potter stuff to where I know my name in Latin, Deo Juventum Vidium Super Arbo. That sounds like a magic casting spell, but I know I'm not casting a spell and magic. I'm knowing that that's how you cast spells by, first of all, not helping us understand that Latin is important for us to understand in English for Afro-American. Everybody else know but us. But also to say, like, they was using this type of stuff to be on some spell casting stuff. So that's why they put it in the allegorical form in the Harry Potter. But they was doing it too through by hermetical and alchemical, transsexual, trans-Baphomet, AI practices of like, man, we trying to do some nasty, horrible stuff, man. We trying to do this right here. We need all of y'all to come together, all our minds, no matter what field you in, because we must keep them in the urn. We must keep the secrets in the urn. We can't let it go. So again, this Hebrew right here, this right what we're reading right here. If you turn at the first letter that look like an M or E, if you turn it up to the left and let the letters point up, it's gonna look like the trident. So that's a letter. I forgot what the letter is called. A shin. That'll be a letter. This letter right here, I believe the letter in the middle will kind of represent the maybe either the tav or it's a letter for sure that it represent. That it's a letter in the Hebrew that looks just like this. And then the one that got the I, it might got a letter to go to it, but let me tell you like this: the pi and the phi. This is what Kev been teaching. You know, the alpha and the omega. Do you know what I'm saying? So there might still be the olive and the tav in the way that we're like, bro, like I say, man, one thing I can't say, this might be the olive right here, because this is the circle, the beginning, and this might be the tav, the end, the 22nd letter, the covenant, the contract, to where it's like, you know, at the beginning, I put everybody, so it start off with the Father, being the hollow, everybody up under his house, everybody, his whole kingdom is go. So everybody within the circle of God, up under the kingdom of God, and then whatever this can mean to say, and he holds the scepter. You know, he holds the trident. That's how, but that's how you can say that phonetically, if you're able to understand like one word, one letter can mean a whole sentence. Just one letter, family, of God's Hebrew language can mean a whole sentence or a paragraph. But it's not to say you go just break anything down that you want to. Hell no. Nah. It's to say God got specific stuff that go with this. It ain't just for any and everything, but it is to say through your perspective to take it a little further. So that's a blessing.
Molech, to express the abomination of that foreign deity. The Hebrew word Molech is transliterated as Moloch in the Septuagint, possibly linked to the Phoenician Carthaginian word Malak, known from inscriptions dating from 400 to 150 BC, and appearing as Mol in Latin inscriptions from Carthage around 200 BC.
Let's run it back. Because again, y'all, when I trace, because I know the beginning of time was the Babylonian period, and then you go into your Medo-Persian, and then you go into your Macedonian, and then you go into the Roman, and then you go to your still Roman. It's Roman now, but it's a European, United Kingdom, all nations against thee. Now, you know, so at first they was like, they still fighting on each other, but they didn't come to this agreement to say, hey, we finna all go against this one. They just did that for the first time, and the last time just recently. So that's why it's just, and in a short time, so they might only had just 120 years all the way together. But like I say, from 50 years from Martin Luther King doing what he did will be a 50-year jubilee. So this will be coming into right now. 2025 is
foreign deity. The Hebrew word Molech is transliterated as Moloch in the Septuagint, possibly linked.
Oh, so look too though. Oh, that's why it's important too. Oh man. So let me show y'all. Oh, because they just brought up the shin at the bottom of the whatchamacallit. So that's what made me see it. So okay, now look, the letter down here. I'm right here on the line. I'm fit to move this so that bar can go down. But this letter that I'm pointing here right in the middle, this is called the shin. It would look like the trident. I just remember. So that's why his name. Okay, Menelik the king, and the living letter, Bashit shame. So I wonder if Bashit. Okay, so Menelik is spelled like this. I know that this is the This is either the Bet. I know this is the Lamed, I believe, but I think this is the BEIT. Yeah, this is the BEIT because it got this little thing at the bottom. So this means the house. So that means God, if really, God wants to put it in the way that he wanted, Menelik, is to say that when he put both together. Oh, that's why. Because Menelik gonna mean El. So think about Elohim. So that's why they took it from God and they made it their own way to where they made bad stuff. Not the Hebrew. They just changed the letters around and then they came up with Menelik. But Menelik means El by itself, but they put the face of Baal on it. But El like El Shaddai, Elohim still means God and it still means Jesus Christ, family. Just like the Alpha Omega. The Alpha Omega don't mean fraternities and panhandlistic society. What does the Pi and the Phi mean? The Pi and the Phi don't mean the Alpha and Omega and what does it? It's my Father. So it's just like care. No matter what language they in, bro, you got to know how to be able to tap into the Father with it. So now, if this is Greek right here, Sigma Pi Phi, I know that means Alpha Omega, or that means Aleph Tav, and then Lamud, or Shin. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, that's how you string it along on pearls. String your pearls along. Don't cast your pearls to swine, y'all.
Molech to express the abomination of that foreign deity. The Hebrew word Molech is transliterated as Moloch in the Septuagint, possibly linked to the Phoenician Carthaginian word Malak, known from inscriptions.
And then let me go back to. Now, what more should we know a little Septuagint? If the Septuagint, let me say this. Now look, we learning here, y'all. Let me let this go down real quick. If it go down, let's go down. Oh, I gotta play it. So right here, it say LXX. Now, what if we go to the Septuagint Bible? That's Greek. Greek is Septuagint, right? Jesus Christ, Aramaic and Hebrew, writing in the Greek Septuagint because he's coming through at the time of the Greeks, right? Getting ready to come into the Roman act, right? And so at the beginning of the day, it's to say, now when we go into the Septuagint, and what if like Jesus writing and we can read, now we can able to read what Jesus Christ was saying in the Greek Septuagint and put it right along, and we can see, okay, well, dang, Jesus Christ said at this time, and then we go to, y'all remember that one little thing that everybody talking about with the Amino and Dominio, and how that 1,000 year, that little M on that thing, like, okay, y'all, it's two different pictures. One got this M on now, and then the other one don't. That's missing 1,000 years. So how much more will we be able to understand what was going on in the Bible in a more prophetic way to say, oh, that make more sense than when I go and look and I see this picture now, I'm doing my homework and I'm looking at my city in 1922 and I see this in this letter, or I see it in the Hebrew, or I see it in the Latin, and bruh, ain't we supposed to wake the people up today? Come on now.
Linked to the Phoenician Carthaginian
ain't no running from this. No possible
known from inscriptions dating from 400 to 150 BC, and appearing as Mol in Latin inscriptions from Carthage around 200 BC. This deity is associated with Moloch, worshipped in Mari around 1800 BC, and Moloch, found in Akkadian texts, appearing in compound forms Adra-Melech and Anamelech in 2 Kings 1731.
So let me pause it. So y'all like the dude Drum, Drum, the rapper / singer type of dude. Where you think he got it from? Drama, y'all, DJ Drama. So again, Mr. Kevro, DJ Envy, it's no reason to be envious and egoist, bro. Put your ego to the side, man, and let's build and heal together, bro. Because, like I say, I can take side notes and have sidebars and boil them up and all type of little stuff that you say that only you can do, Professor. But it's not only you. And guess what? I didn't take this from you, bro. I already had this in me prior to meeting you, my boy. That's what you don't understand. My personality and the way that I talk and act, the people that know me from my little city of Beaumont, Texas, that know Rico from Texas and not from no dang Canada, and they know Rico stands 6'4", my boy, tall, my boy, slim frame, my boy, hooper, young scooper. Now, it wasn't the best, but that's because I had too much stuff going on in my life. Mentally, they knew I was good on that court. They knew I was good in anything I did when it came to that schoolhouse. But they, at the same time, they clowned me back then. They was envious back then. All my little classmates, family. It was people, they put me in that group. Only reason they put me in that group because I didn't bow down to them. They was like, hey, man, that one dude, we be talking about him, but he get back and he get to talking about us on a little funny shit. So his little partner was like, hey, man, you want to get in our little clique? They a little, like a year older than me, like 2 years older than me, if not a year older than me. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool or whatever. But I don't even go hang with the niggas because I'm such a loner to myself. I do my own thing. I ain't gonna get kicked out the group. I don't give a damn that I was even in the group. Shout out to OAG, ABN, but it's like, bro, they liked me because I knew how to rap a little bit off the dome. Didn't even like rapping like that. I just did things naturally because I liked it, bro. I liked a few things naturally that just felt good in that moment to say it wasn't bad things. It was like when it drew my attention, I'm like, okay, that was cool. So when it comes to like even artistry and like being a musician, I didn't know nothing of like what it really was about at all. I just was only on the outside looking in at each one of these things, just taking a piece in and say, I like getting on the game. I like watching my Batman and Robin, my Nickelodeon, my Cartoon Network, and you know, my Toonami and stuff like that when I was growing up. And like I said, that's why I don't know about a lot of the black exploitation movies, because I didn't see a lot of them. And I'm glad I've been exposed to that. I seen them maybe once or twice growing up. Every one I probably seen once or twice for sure, y'all. But I grew up on stuff like Family Matters, Steve Urkel and them, you know, all that little stuff like that. That what it was like. If they was black, it was like that. The Smart Kid, stuff like that. So I'm just blessed to say, even though that they was getting sold out, that's what made me want to fight for a person like, when I think about Cuba Gooding Jr. doing what he did, doing a little raw, but then his brother on the other side saying, hey man, I had to really steal a clip from Hollywood, my brother in it, but like, bro, you know, as I came up through the smart guy, bro, they tried to do me a certain way, and so he couldn't really talk about it, but it's like, you know, he really, Mark Cuba Gooding Jr. brother who played the dude in Smart Guy, it's like he really wanted to say what it was, but you can tell at the beginning of the day, he's just been playing this smart to say, bro, my own family has set me up. And it is what it is. So I'm showing people that's been, man, we don't know what people been going through and what they really been trying to hold down. So even more what I say about Denzel Washington, to say like, you know, Denzel Washington, he didn't play some heck of a roles, but him playing that Book of Eli role, I'm gonna say like this. That's just like Mel Gibson playing the Passion of the Christ. He knew he kind of did a misrepresentation, but he knew he did a good thing. So after he did that, he was like, man, I brought the people to kind of look towards God and Christ. And man, you know, this was a lot. And it's making me go crazy because now I'm trying to figure out, man, is this real? I know it's real because I've been taking part in these seminars. So, man, what is this? Because I don't got the real information. So even more so when it comes like to Denzel Washington and the Book of Eli, it's like, bro, the whole book was in Braille. So what if the book was in Braille, Mr. Gillespie? What if the original Bible was in Braille? You're going to say, hey, bro, you serving Braille, bro. You know, hey, that's what the blind people read, bro. You serving Braille. You know, the eclipse, you can't even see, but you serve the eclipse. Like, bro, come on, bro. You just find any way to just say something about somebody to just make, I guess, like I say, this ego, boastful, bro. I don't got that. So
Through the same root MLK, the name is linked to Milcom and Malcolm.
Malcolm
In the Old
X.
Testament, Molech generally takes the definite article.
Hold on, Malcolm. Dang, I missed that one. I said, so I tried to put Martin Luther King in the name with Malcolm. Bro, they hit us with, bro, they hit us from two sides, cuz. You got Malcolm X. And you got, bruh, Hegelian dialect. Whoa! We just learned something tonight, y'all. We got hit with the old wham. It's all a sham, fam. The 42 pump fake for show. Play action. You wasn't ready for the hut through the bar, not hut set. Well, no. What they do, how can you do the fake snap? You don't even say hut, you just hut the bar. What the fuck? Lord, I ain't cussed Dana all show. I try to keep myself from cussing, y'all. That's crazy. I heard it earlier, but the Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, come on, man.
Suggesting it might be a common term for ruler. Jeremiah 32:235 indicates a connection to Baal, whose name is also a common term. And under the name Baal Merkart, children were sacrificed in Tyre. Mosaic law demands the death penalty for anyone who sacrifices their child to Moloch. Later, Solomon himself erected a high place for this deity on the mountain east of Jerusalem, namely the Mount of Olives. King Ahaz, around the 730s BC, burned his children as offerings, and Manasseh committed the same abomination.
Amen.
And they built the high places of Baal, which are in the valley of the son of Hinnom, to cause their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire unto Molech, which I commanded them not, neither came it into my mind, that they should do this abomination, to cause Judah to sin. Jeremiah 32:35.
These offerings were also made to the star deity Remphan. The term host of heaven is often associated with idolatrous objects of worship linked to gods like Baal, Moloch, and other pagan cults. The Old Testament strongly condemns and opposes all forms of worship directed towards these heavenly hosts, such as
Amen.
stars, the moon,
Amen.
the sun, etc.
I do
Some
too.
interpreters
I
speculate
approve.
that Remphan refers to the moon, while Moloch refers to the sun. Others suggest that it refers to Saturn, as in the Syrian and Persian languages, the planet is called Remphan. The Septuagint translates it as Jun, a more commonly known name. They had images representing
The
stars,
Chinese, the
similar to the
Asians,
silver
huh?
shrines for the
Cool.
goddess Artemis or Diana, referred to here as the idols you made to worship.
Diana,
Dr. Lightfoot, a
Artemis,
17th century
Aphrodite.
English theologian, suggested they had images representing the entire sky with all the arrangements of stars and planets, all referred to as Remphan, the highest form like the circle of heaven.
Man.
Our southern border is
So
a
you see why they want to be the
Biden-created
hollow, my family?
disaster.
Y'all
But
see
Texas has
why
stepped up.
they would try to confuse Mr. Gillespie and try to get Mr. Gillespie to go against me as I'm showing him things at a high level. Look, this picture right here, y'all. This came from the video they deleted that I sent. I'm telling you, I sent it to 1,000 people. I'm telling y'all, I forwarded that video so much. I probably got it out to 10,000 people, y'all. What I'm saying, what I'm saying is like reposting, doing it the way I was doing it. I know how to reach people through the algorithm and the code. And so I know that's why they deleted the video. I mean, privated the video. And guess where the video came from? The Utah University, the coldest university in America right now. Because when you look and see that our whole world, our laws and everything is built off of the stuff that came out of Utah, Judah, where Mount Nebo at. Woo. And I ain't saying there wasn't some stuff in LA and San Francisco. What I'm saying is a lot of that stuff that come from the Hebrews and the Jews is found up in Utah, family. I ain't gonna lie. A lot of important stuff around everywhere, but I'm just saying there's some important stuff over there in Utah. It just make a lot of sense to where when I think about Mexico, I mean not Mexico, New Mexico and Arizona and certain mountainous areas and just everything God been showing me for the past 2 months. RICO got a big job that I may be doing in the next 2 months. So I'm just trying to get the information out and then God say, hey son, you got to go do this great walk and do this one on another level to where you got to go like your forefathers and go out into the wilderness and you got to be with me and you got to handle this on your own. And so that's why I'm trying to get all this information I can, because if I feel like God saying, well, if I'm only saying if you need to go turn over a stone and the stone takes you to leave your phone and all that at home and you just walk with me and take everything that you know and leave everything behind, I want to have the strength to be able to do that, child, even if nobody else with me. You know what I'm saying? So I want to be able to leave it all behind and say, God, when I come back, I'm going to come back like Moses and help my people and do what they do. So again, if God make it, I'm just following my father's, not only his Jesus Christ's footsteps, but if I could say my father's words. That's why I say my father's wisdom, his word, and his will, but I'm following Jesus Christ's footsteps. And so that being said is to say that again, whatever God is saying that we need to do in order to get this stuff cleaned up, like I said, I know repent for sure. I know that it's in the supreme law, the ecclesiastical, but I'm trying to figure out what else do we need to get there. So if RICO need to go show y'all, I can go find this under the college, or if I can go to the mountain and actually go find not only just the Ark of Covenant, but if I can go into the mountains and say, hey y'all, I just found these mountains. Guess what's over here? Our people, buried, family. I done found a real mountain, and this IP. And guess what? I see, you know why? Because he go to Thomas' name right here on the cave. Guess what? 4 letters I was able to find. Very small. Woo, God, you know God had to lead me over here, y'all. But guess what? It's time. I'm going to come back and come get my Jews, my Hebrews, my Israelites, and everybody from every other nation and every other ethnicity that believe in God, family. And we for the usher in heaven on earth. So RICO just trying to make sure I just humble myself, taking one day at a time, one step at a time. I'm no bigger than the program, as the professor say. And I'm not, because the program is God's. I'm just trying to make sure that I understand how to utilize the program and do what the program is asking me to do, knowing he gave us free will. He's not trying to control us. He didn't come to create heaven on earth just to control us. So I thank my Father that he gave me free will. He gave me stuff to think about in a way that I'm hopefully that if y'all heard me today and y'all like what I said and could support that, y'all might not even have to come through another video, man. If you came through and you ain't hit that like, that subscribe, and that share, or that and the devil don't play fair, then get over there and do it right now, family. And if you want to support the real, knowing that I'm trying to heal and build, hit that cash app, $RICOSGOLD1, because God is the only one, alone, none to the left, to the right, the omnipotent, omnipresent, omnipotent, omnipresent, and omniscient. And so it's to say that they could never be God, nor could they strike God, of course. So it's just a blessing that he chose us as little G's, y'all, our sons, our daughters, they minds, they thoughts, their imagination. What more than they grant? So I'm doing it for the ones who ain't here, the ones that's already been, up out of here, people that's already then came and had a resurrection in the first 5,500 years, because that's what God promised Adam. And so it's just like even more to say within these past 2,500 years to complete a, because what it take 1,500? No, let me see, 1,000, then 6,500, and then so 50. Jesus Christ died. It only takes 1,500 years from Jesus Christ to us getting to a perfect 7 of like God do the heavenly things in the 7s. He still do things in heavenly and like in the 3s, so he can do whatever he want to be. 9, 6. That's why they do the 3, 6, 9, the on. It all. God is everything. You know what I'm saying? So he can do it however he want to. But it's just to say that at the beginning of the day, when you think about it like that, it helps you to understand why you gotta let your ego go. Let that go all the way out the door. You know what I'm saying? And it's out the door. And just know that God is the Father, Jesus Christ, Spirit of truth, man, woman, child, heaven on earth. Anything else outside of that, you will be going backwards and into the abyss, the lake of fire, into the Ouroboros, Twilight Zone, the Matrix, the Truman Show, and sin and death forever and a day. And it's like, we don't want that. So I'm just thankful that God giving us and allowing us time right now to take our time to, wake up every day. I say pray like this, y'all. You can pray in 3 different ways. You can pray in the spirit, you can pray in the mental, and then you can pray in your, spirit and the mental is the same. So say in the spirit to where you might not even said anything, but you knowing that just because you laying there and the way you move and groove, you knowing that in the spirit that everything you've been doing the past week and what you go do, it's already spiritually, you already praying to God without even saying anything or doing any action. Mentally, you could be saying stuff in your head. Then verbally, you can say those things. And then through your actions is how you pray too. Because if you knowing that our cup is already running over full just by us being born in the world and already having Jesus Christ laid down, you know what I'm saying? That God from the beginning, he said, I made the end. In the end of whatever we just read in 46, Isaiah 46, 9 and 10, you understand? At the beginning and at the end, he already, at the beginning of the day, he ain't come to play. You know what I'm saying? And so that being said is to say that again, hold on, y'all. I'm looking at something real quick. Again, as I say that, when you pray out through the spirit, and then outside the spirit, you pray out verbally, and then you pray through your actions and stuff like that, and how you talk to people, and how you handle people, and the way you go. So that is a form of prayer, y'all. Y'all got to understand there's a form of praise and magnifying the Father. So the way you do and your works, that's why he said you're gonna be tried by your works. Wait, I'm gonna wait to the weeks and tares. So even right now, Professor, count yourself as a weak, but don't become a tab by letting your ego, you know what I'm saying? And you tearing yourself from being a weak by letting your ego get control of you. So let's pray. Let's bring it in. This is why Rico, because Professor brought this to me, and Rico just went to studying outside of Professor. So because Professor brought up, Jesus said, pray like this. Y'all started praying for me. I'm telling Professor, I pray for you, big bro. And I'm praying you're doing well, blessed, blah. I'm always doing that. So he might have sometimes been talking specifically about me. He might have been talking about whoever. Somebody maybe that actually did him wrong. But this is how you pray. In Jesus' name we pray, for sure, that part. My Father, who art in heaven. So art means, we're going to go to, then pull up the banner. So art means we are hallowed. We're going to the hallowed. Let me bring it back over here so I can teach as we bring it out. Hallowed be the, he ordered the heavens. He is the greatest artist ever known, the greatest creator ever been, ever in existence. He is the reigning champ for sure. Not King George, Kel, not George. Not like I say, George Gillespie did it way better than you did, Kevin Gillespie. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm gonna keep it real, Mr. Gillespie. George Gillespie held it down, big brother. And I ain't talking about King George Gillespie III. I'm talking about George Gillespie, Minister George Gillespie, 1640. That Aaron's Roy, I can only imagine how he acted and the way he moved, because for you to write something like that in that way, it takes patience, kindness, man, all type of stuff, yeah. But my Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. The hallowed, the holy. He's the holy, the holiest of holiest. From the heavens above to down low, to from left, right, anywhere you want to go. He is that. You know what I'm saying? The olive and the tile. He created the alphabet, the alphabet for us from A to Z, 1, 2, 3. He is the Mr. You can't do it like me. So all them people stuck in Hermes, Trismegistus, boo-boo, they lost that, my Father. So again, my Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us for our sins, as we forgive those who sin against us, my Father. And forgive us for our debts, as we forgive those who indebted to us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory. My God, I ask you that when you wake us up, we're able to bring it in the spirit first, Father. You, my Father, your wisdom, your knowledge, your kindness, your love, your grace that you might gave us just for that day, your mercy, Father, that you pour on to us because of your Son, because your heart is full of love, and even when you pour out your anger, Father, it's only in a justful way that you never changing. And I just want to ask that you help us to be able to deny the things that we get up with and struggle with every day. I ask that you help us to overcome the obstacles that's placed right forth in front of us, so we can pass those obstacles with flying colors, so we may be able to not go into tribulation. But even when we are in tribulations, that we know patience is a virtue, so we must be able to lean on the Father and know that if you got us, then what else can be against us? So even in the days of calamity, we know to weather the storm and hold on to you, my Father, and know that you already laid it down from the foundation. So we know that anything you already, we're going to read this in the Hebrew or the English, is going to be there. You already got it in many places. We just need to see it and know how to hear it, and then build our relationship with you and get ourselves right, repent, come back to you, and get ready for whatever day they might have been, of whatever captivity we freed ourselves up from up until the last day of the Gentiles, and to the end of that consummation of the Gentile condemnation and judgment, my Father. So, and the last thing we ask is that you take care of the things that are out of our control, Father, the things that, again, that you said that you decide. Let's go back to 46, 9 and 10 real quick. We're going to end it on this, y'all. Let me see. Oh, Lord, did I? That you said, my Father, counsel, that you should do your pleasure, declaring the ending from the beginning, the ancient times, the things that are not yet done, that you already know that you can take care of, that is out of our control, Father. For you remember the former things of, oh, for I am God and there's none else. I am God and there's none like me. So I just want to thank you, Father God. In Jesus' name we pray each and every day. Amen. Hey, Mac, Rico, Thomas, in the door. And I'm out the door with a good show right now. In the door with my Father, out the door with that good word. And it's time for me to get a little rest and get a little food. Like I said again, if you came in and you ain't hit that like, you ain't hit that share, you ain't hit that subscribe, and you hear me getting live before and after 5, what is we doing here? What is we doing, y'all? So y'all support the real. The real go link, fake go sync. Y'all know what time it is. Hit that cash out, money sign RICOSGOLD1. And we're going to get to it, man, each and every day, each and every way. As long as it's the right way and not the wrong way. Amen. And so, man, let's get it. And let's get to it. And so, we're going to part ways for better days. And we're going to end it on a good note. Look, y'all, I had to stop because I was fit to say my little outro, but I realized I messed up my voice because I had forgot the way I was fit to say it. But look, from the beginning of the day to the end of the day, we're going to stand for the right things and not just anything. Rico, St. Thomas. And I'm out the door. Let's get it.